Hello, YouTube. Hello. This music's pretty loud. Okay, that was pretty fast. Okay. Better than yesterday. Yeah, when I started the stream yesterday, it's gave me a bit of feedback. So, hopefully it doesn't happen today. But yeah, let's turn this music down. Okay. So, Dominion 6. What do I know about it? Not a whole lot. So, like I mentioned before, I didn't know about this game until I was in a Legend of Total War stream and someone asked him, oh, hey, have you ever played Dominion 6? So I'm like, oh, what's that? So I looked it up and saw what I liked. So it was 10% off at the time. So I bought it. And I've only played it for a few hours, but I do enjoy it. So I'm excited to be bringing it to you today. So the first thing I like to do whenever I start a new game is I check the options. They call it preferences in this, but options are the same thing. And a lot of this stuff is really a really big deal. So so yeah, what did I change? Usually middle mouse button is held to scroll the map. With this option, it will be scrolled with the left mouse button held down. Okay, so that. Map scrolling in windowed mode, okay. Map edge scrolling is on. Zoom the map with the scroll wheel is on. Right click to move. Yeah, so this is the one that's off by default. So it's off by default, and what it means is the default control setting is right click to select, left click to move. So I turn this on to make it left click to select and right click to move. Clicking outside a window will have the same effect as pressing the escape key. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Magic pass, I'm not sure what that is. On the map screen, commander token, okay. Oh, this option will put newly recruited mages on research if possible. Okay. That sounds good, but I don't know if I'm going to turn that on. Shows tips when starting the game? Yes. Warn on end turn? Yes, have that on. Because what'll happen is if you don't have this on, you'll do your turn, and then you might forget to move a scout. And then you wasted a turn, right? So I have this on to make sure that you do everything you can possibly do. I think I also turned this on as well. It's, yeah, just so you can queue up multiple move orders. It'll save you time later on in the campaign. Mouse wheel raise or lower camera in combat. I think that was already on, so yeah, I'll leave that on. Graphics. This is what it was on by default. Tracer arrows. 3D. Graphics are very high. Anti-aliasing is off. 60 frames per second. Okay. So let's create a new world. So this is your the first thing you're going to be shown is this. So the size of the map. I'm going to do a large map. The world layout. Standard, completely random. Circle, small lakes, 1 sea, 2 seas, twirling sea. No man's land. Can only start on the east and west edges, okay. Forbidden center, no one can start in the center. Interesting. And then underground layout. Random, small caves, 1 cave, 2 caves, circle cave. So what caves are is, on the map, there will be provinces that have a cave entrance, and you can use the cave entrance to go to an underground area. There will be provinces and enemies and thrones of ascension down there, just like the overworld. And yeah, it's very interesting. So map tweaks. Enable rivers, keep that on. I'm going to turn off the east-west wraparound. I'm going to keep these off for now to make it play like a standard map. And that means you're going to start in a corner or a side or wherever, but there will be edges to the map, so it won't get so overwhelming to keep track of. So I went with large because I'm only going to have me and one other enemy player to compete, just to like mess around with the game and check it out. So that's okay. So the new map is going to be called, I call that New World. It's like New World, but a weird way of saying it. So I came up with this in Minecraft. So this is what I like to use for new worlds. New World. Oh, it already exists. Okay. So I need a new name. Well, I'll just do New World 2. Okay, so ages. Alright, I'll read this. Early ages. The early ages are full of magic and civilization is at its beginning. At most places, iron has not been thought of yet, and armors and weapons are made of wood, stone, and bronze. Mages are most powerful in this age, and there's an abundance of magic resources, since it is a time of legends. Middle Ages. Civilization has continued to make progress, and modern technologies like iron are now available to most nations. Mages have lost some of their former power, and magic resources are not as abundant as before. Late Ages. In the late ages, iron and steel are readily available and used to arm most troops. Magic resources have continued to dwindle, but mages have become more organized, and their knowledge of the different magic paths are greater than ever before. So yeah, just it adds a little bit of a narrative to the game, because depending on which age you're playing in, there will be a certain level of progression with the factions. So let's just go to the early ages first. So you're going to see a screen like this. Now, this is where our first hotkey is going to come into effect. Shift, question mark. Every time you hit Shift question mark, you'll bring up a control scheme. It'll tell you all the different things that you can do on that screen. So let's go back. Let's remove the extra players. So there's going to be me and an AI. So I'll keep it normal, and I'll make him defensive. So now we pick our nation. So these are all the early age nations. Okay? So let's go through them. Archocephaly, the Golden Era. So Archocephaly is the name. The Golden Era is their era title. So era title is just a quick idea of what their era is like. So the Golden Era. So this must be doing very well for them, right? So let's look at the bottom. An ancient human kingdom led by philosophers, Archocephalae mainly uses heavy infantry, chariots, and flying Icarids. The philosophers are skilled researchers. Oreads, roaming mountain spirits, and mystics skilled in astral and elemental magic give Archocephalae great magical versatility. The priestesses of Archocephalae can heal wounded soldiers. Ooh, that's cool. So if I left click, I select. But if you want to get more information, right click. Boom. So here we go. This is like their rundown. There's their flag. Here's their rundown. Here's their features. Here's their commanders. Here's their units. Here's their sites. So let's start. The kingdom of Archocephalae is yet to be founded, and in its place is a loose collection of city-states. Just like ancient Greece. Bronze is more common than iron, and hoplites have yet to see the light of day. Instead, myrmidons and chariots compose the core of the armies. In this time, slaves are commonly used, and most free men have plenty of time to spend on fine arts and good living. Philosophers gather in the cities to discuss esoteric truths, and engineers manufacture clever contraptions for civil and military use. At the heart of Archocephalae lies Mount Cephalos, abode of the awakening god. At the foot of the mountain is a great temple where the sacred Pegasus riders are trained. Icarids, men with mechanical wings, are also used in warfare. The philosophers are better at magical research in a slothful domain. Okay, so national features. Their race, they're humans. Military, heavy infantry, chariots, flying infantry, sacred Pegasus riders, and engineers. Magic, nature, astral, elements, philosopher researchers. Priests, weak, healing, septic preachers, reduces dominion. So what that means is you can send your priests to an enemy province and they'll reduce the dominion of the enemy god in that area, slowly bringing it under your control. So dominion. What that means is, like, there's like nature, there's chaos, there's sloth, there's order. Those are all scales. And scales fit in your Dominion. Oh wait, no. Dominion, that's actually an ability. So scry. So, accurate and automatic regulatory reports inside Dominion. Okay, so I guess what that means is all of your friendly territory, you get access to all the information in those areas. So like, if someone was trying to sneak through, you might be able to spot them. I'm not really sure. Because I did fight a faction where they could make themselves glamored. So they could appear to be a tree or something. So they can go anywhere they want in stealth mode. I forget which one they are. I'll remind you when I get to that point. But yeah, so some people can use stealth. So this faction must be able to see inside their own territories, which is cool. And buildings. There's not a lot of buildings. There's forts and labs. Forts, if you build a fort in an area, you secure it as your own territory. It's not that you can't control an area without a fort, but if you put a fort in an area, enemies have to beat the fort to take it over. And all your provinces have garrisons that you pay for, but forts will make them much stronger. So engineers can build better forts, so not sure what they mean by that. Now, labs are places where you can cast magical spells. So I've talked a little bit about it before in my preview on the weekend. But magical spells come in different varieties. So you can have spells that you just cast on the battlefield, which are pretty normal. Or you can have ritual spells. So a ritual spell must be started at a lab. So you start the ritual spell, you select the lab, you select the wizard that's going to do the ritual, and then you pick a target. So they can do stuff like, so you see an army in a province and they're just sitting there. You can call fire down on them from the sky, blast them all with it, and then send your army in to finish them off. I think that's how it works. And then there's other stuff like summoning creatures. You can summon like vine spirits and things like that. So yeah. So let's check out their units. Commanders, scout. So yeah, scout lets you scout. So we can left or right click on these guys to get the breakdown of them. So here's a scout. So here's all of their stats, right? Gold is how much they cost. Hit points, self-explanatory. Size. Every tile has 10 points of size available. So a person with the size of 3, you can have 3 units in a tile. But if someone's like a 6 size, like a giant, you can only have 1 in a tile. Protection, that helps with their defense against damage. Same with magic resistance, helps them resist magic damage. Morale. Leadership only affects leader characters. Like, the higher their leadership, the more units they can lead and the better formations they can use. Resources. So gold and resources are gold, resources, and recruitment points. Those are the things you spend on units. So gold and resources come from a region, and recruitment points come from a fort. So the higher the level of the fort, the more recruitment points you can have, and the more units you can recruit in a turn. Oh, you can even click on these and get even more detail on some of them. An ordinary human soldier has about 10 HP, a giant has about 30 HP, and a dragon typically has over 100 HP. Okay. Some spells can be resisted and avoided by targets with an iron will. A unit's magic resistance value indicates how well the unit can resist such spells. Most mind-affecting spells can be resisted with a high magic resistance, whereas destructive spells like Fireball cannot be resisted at all. A normal human soldier has a magic resistance value of 10, and a powerful mage can have a value of 15 or more. Spells cast by powerful mages are more difficult to resist than spells cast by weaker ones. Morale. Yeah, every time something demoralizing happens to a unit, its morale is checked. Demoralizing events are getting wounded if someone in the same squad dies, and certain magical effects. At the beginning of a battle turn, all squads with enough failed morale checks must make a rout check based on the average morale of the squad. Failure results in the squad routing from the battlefield. A normal human soldier has a morale value of 10. An untrained human militia has a morale value of 8, and an elite unit may have a morale of as high as 15. Special monsters such as Walking Dead have morale values of 50. This is a symbolic number that means they never flee, but will dissolve if left with no commander. All units that have not gone berserk will rout automatically when all commanders are dead or have left the battlefield. Undead and magical beings will also rout if they are left without a proper commander. A necromancer for undead and a mage for magical beings. 1/12 of the yearly upkeep is paid every month. Okay. Leadership. Yeah, so the maximum number of troops a unit can lead. Undead or magical beings do not count toward the normal leadership values and can be commanded in addition to normal units. Only undead commanders and commanders with a skill in death or blood magic can command undead beings, and only mages and certain powerful monsters can command magical beings. Okay. So yeah, that's the undead and magical leader. So if you're like a necromancer, you have undead leader. That's how many undead units you can have. If you're a magical leader, that's how many magical units you can have. And then this is for regular units. Okay. Strength. Normal human soldier has a strength of 10. Siege defense, so they're weak against sieges. Yeah, so they might not even be able to damage stuff. Siege strength is used when trying to break down the walls of a besieged castle. The sum of all sieging units' siege strength is compared to the sum of the defending unit's siege defense, and the difference indicates how much damage the walls will take. Okay. Attack skill. Okay, attack bonus is added to this value when attacking. If the attack value is above the defending unit's defense value, the strike will most likely hit the defender. A normal soldier has an attack skill of 10, and an elite soldier with much battle experience might have an attack skill of 15. The attack skill of a unit with one weapon in each hand will be reduced by the sum of the weapon lengths. So it's much more effective to fight with 2 daggers than 2 longswords. Yeah, so that's the thing. Some units fight with 2 weapons, and that can actually be a detriment, because if they aren't short weapons like daggers, they'll take penalties to their attack. But some units have ambidextry, which means they don't take a penalty when using 2 weapons. I've seen that before. Like assassins and stuff like that will have it. Defense skill. Indicates a unit's ability to avoid being hit in melee. Attacks will generally miss a target unless the attacker's attack skill is greater than the target's defense skill. Defense doesn't protect a unit from missile weapons or spells. A normal soldier without a shield or heavy armor has a defense value of 10, while a heavily armed soldier might have a defense value of 5, and an experienced mounted soldier a value of 15. Yeah. So these stats don't usually get too high for a lot of the units, right? So there is a balance. There are situations where your units will do either very little or 0 damage to someone because their armor is so strong. So like Middle-Age Ulm has this. They have black steel armor, and it's really hard to get through. So they'll avoid a lot of damage, and they'll take very few afflictions or wounds from doing stuff like that. Precisions for ranged attacks. Normal human soldier has a precision of 10. Unit rarely has values above 15. It also affects patrol. So patrol value is used when trying to find sneaking units and when reducing unrest, both via the patrol order. The value is based on map, move, and precision. A normal unit has about 1, and a commander has double that value. All flying units count as a map, having a move of 30. Wow, so all flying units can move very far. Combat speed. A unit's combat speed 10 can move almost 10 squares in the same time it takes to cast a spell or do a melee attack, okay? Map move. Determines how far the unit can move on the map world in a month. Different provinces require a different amount of movement points to pass through depending on the terrain in the province. If it is snowy or not, and if it is a friendly province or not. Moving from one province to another province with different movement costs means the unit has to pay the average of those movement costs. An army can always move at least one province each month. Common movement costs. Plain is 6, forest and waste 10, cave 12, swamp 14, mountain 16, snow +2, enemy controlled +8 or +6 for stealth units. Roads -4 to a minimum of 4. Okay. Encumbrance. How fatigued a unit will get from one round of melee combat. The encumbrance value is strongly affected by the amount and weight of armor that a unit is wearing. Spellcasting and armor is very demanding, and the caster suffers from twice the normal armor encumbrance. Some magically animated units have an encumbrance value of 0. This means that the unit will never get exhausted from melee combat. Spellcasting result in the normal amount of fatigue, even for units with 0 encumbrance. Okay, so spellcasting always causes fatigue. So yeah, fatigue. So, melee combat is physically demanding. Every time a unit attacks in melee, it becomes more fatigued. As a unit's fatigue increases, the unit becomes easier to hit in battle. An attacker has a greater chance of hitting a weak spot in the armor of a tired combatant. If fatigue exceeds 100, the unit falls dazed or unconscious to the ground and is unable to move, attack, or defend. Strikes are certain to hit and armor provides little protection. Fatigue can be the death of even the bravest of warriors. Units automatically recover 1 point of fatigue each combat round, or 5 points if the unit is unconscious. Yeah, I've seen that in Dwarf Fortress, where, the guy's name is Blind, and, he forced the dwarves to use wooden weapons. So, the dwarves would get into a fight, they'd be bashing them with wooden weapons, and they'd fight until they passed out from exhaustion, and then die. But there was a dwarf zombie who used a shield to kill guys. It was pretty cool. So yeah, age. When a unit gets older, it will not only get wiser, it will also get weaker and eventually die. The max age indicates at what age the units will start to receive age penalties. Age penalties affects attack, defense, precision, encumbrance, hit points, combat speed, map move, and get progressively worse as the unit grows older. All units age 1 year at midwinter, and those that are affected by old age risk getting disease or otherwise afflicted. See, I've seen where like some people are immortal, so if they die, they'll come back from the dead. They'll like reform in a friendly province, which is pretty cool. XP, pretty self-explanatory. Units usually gain 1 XP per month, but they can get more by participating in fights. Each experience level gives a bonus to precision, attack, defense, and morale. Commanders that gain experience will also get a bonus to their research ability and to the number of units they are capable of leading. The leadership bonus depends on both experience level and the amount of units they can normally lead. Okay. Oh yeah, and here's their stat. Oh yeah, these two. So this is gear. So like commander characters can equip gear. So like this unit, slingers, they have no gear. But commanders can have gear. So you can make gear by researching crafting. And then once you've researched crafting, you get like an engineer, for example. He doesn't build stuff. I don't know if these guys can craft anything. Yeah, but yeah, there are people that are good at crafting stuff. Okay, so yeah, this can also go, if your god is in a human shape, they can also have equipment, which is really powerful, because look at how much stuff you can equip, right? 2 rings, boots, armor, helmet, a ranged weapon, a shield, and a sword. You can also equip magic gems. I'm not really sure what equipping magical gems do. One thing I do know is that if you have 5 gems of a particular type, you can give someone a level in that spellcasting school. And then there's these. They're perks, or like perks, right? These are stats. These are perks. So 1, stealthy. Stealthy troops can pass undetected through enemy territory. The value is an estimate of the number of patrollers required to have a 50% chance of discovering the stealthy unit. Mounted survival. Creature has reduced movement penalty when moving through highlands and is less likely to starve when the army runs out of supplies in highland or mountain provinces. Units with mounted survival are also able to move through mountain passes even when it is cold. Underground units with this ability can travel crystal caves without movement penalty. And forest survival. Same thing, just forests. And there's cave forests too. Okay, so that's a scout. Let's check out the rest of them. Engineer. So you're not really going to use them in combat. They can lead a small army. But yeah, look at their weapon, tool. Well, let's look at these person's weapons first. Bronze spear. Weapons and armor, right? Length, this is what they're talking about. So length does play into effect. Like, if your length is longer than the enemy's length, you can avoid their attacks by pushing your weapon into theirs. So, someone with the spear can fight off someone with the dagger pretty easily. They also have short bows, so they'll use their bow first, and then when they get close, they switch to melee. So they don't have a shield or anything like that. So these guys won't be the best in melee combat. They also only have leather armor, which doesn't give you any defense. It only gives protection. Usually heavy armor reduces your defense because it's harder to move in, but it gives you more protection. So defense avoids a skill. Defense avoids an attack. Protection reduces damage. Okay? So this adds on to their base protection. So this guy will have 17 protection. So engineer. So siege bonus. I've never done a siege. They also start as old. So starting as old, you know, they are pretty susceptible to disease and they can eventually die from old age. So don't expect them to live for very long. It's like historical total war. Like in historical total war, people could grow old and die of old age. So that can happen in this game too. He doesn't have any magic. It would show if he had magic. Let's check out the Skeptic. Skeptic? Skeptics have stealth. Heretic. What's a heretic? This unit leads people away from the true faith and lowers dominion in a province. A value of 5 guarantees the removal of 1 point of dominion. Lower value means there's a lower chance of this happening. Values above 5 means that more than 1 point of dominion can be removed per month. Okay, that's interesting. So he can go into enemy territories and try to preach away their control. That's interesting. That's why he's stealthy, so he can hide there and do that. That's cool. Oh wait, I didn't read any of this stuff yet, so let's do that. So the kingdom of Arcocephalae is yet to be founded. Oh wait, yeah, I did read that. I forgot, okay. But I didn't read these. So yeah, scouts are trained to pass unseen through enemy territory and to travel efficiently even in mountainous and forested terrain. Their reports on enemy movements, army movements, and the resources in enemy lands are invaluable to the prudent warlord. Yeah, scouts are very important. Because otherwise you can only see one tile outside of your friendly territory. And you can't tell if there's like armies or stuff like that going through. So scouts are used to look for armies, basically. Okay, engineers are down-to-earth philosophers specializing in the physics and mechanics of that which is observable. They do not concern themselves with moral values or esoteric musings. Instead, they try to define the laws governing the universe and use their findings to invent practical things. Engineers are very skilled at siegecraft and castle defense, while philosophers prefer to stay at home or at the academies. Engineers often leave the Lycaon and travel through the kingdom to test their ideas and inventions. Okay? Skeptic is a philosopher with a sharp tongue and a dry wit. His intellectual stature prevents him from accepting the truth of any faith. As the subversive words of the skeptic spread, faith in divinities falters. Skeptics are employed as missionaries of reason and are sent to foreign lands to weaken faith in false gods. Yeah. Icarid Champion. So yeah, these guys are susceptible to fire, and they fly. Oh, flyers can launch quick attacks on archers and commanders in battles, and they're very good at patrolling your lands. They have an advantage when besieging, and it's hard to besiege them. That's interesting. So he's got a bronze sword. And it's got 2 types of damage. Slash damage. Damage is increased 25% after armor protection has been deducted. Slash damage is more likely to chop off body parts. Pierce damage. The armor of the target is reduced by 15%. He's got some good armor. Hoplite helmet, really good protection. But you can see, heavy armor reduces your defense. So you'll avoid less attacks, but the protection will reduce the damage. Parry. Yeah, shield gives you parry. Parry value for your shield. Added to unit's defense. Yeah, so it adds to your skill, your defense skill. Chariot commander. Oh, the chariot has its own stats. So, a horse-drawn chariot with scythed wheels. Its role is mainly as an offensive weapon and it's quite vulnerable to attack. Its charge causes tremendous damage to lightly armored troops. Charioteers of the Golden Era wear bronze cuirasses. And here's the chariot stats. Oof. I don't see it doing much damage. Like, its attack skill and strength isn't that high. It's got combat speed of 20, though. Myrmidon Champion. The Myrmidons are the elites of the Golden Era. A philosopher once commented that their heavy bronze armor made the Myrmidons resemble ants, hence their name. The Myrmidons themselves claim that the founders of their band were actually ants transforming into thickly armored soldiers of great strength. Myrmidons wield short swords and carry shields. So I heard that Myrmidons were like fish. That was the Age of Mythology Titans that taught me that. Because Atlantis had Myrmidons, so it said fish, not ants. But I could see ants. Makes sense. And he's a strong leader, too. Strong leaders can access line formation. And, you know, it's just a new formation, right? Otherwise, they go in like blobs. Mystic. Okay, so here we go. Astral Mage level 1 and random magic skill. Research ability. Adept Researcher. Can perform research more efficiently than other people. So research is how you unlock magic spells. It's how you unlock magic rituals. It's how you unlock crafting tiers. And yeah. So what happens is if your mages aren't doing anything, you can put them on research, and they'll put points towards unlocking the spells or the crafting things that you choose. So you can use them in combat, but I find most of the basic mages are only like level 1 or level 2 mage, so they can't cast really strong spells. But yeah, they're more used for research and stuff like that. So mystics are reclusive mages living in strange caves where they explore the mystery of time and the fabric of creation. Mysteries are adept at astral and elemental magics and wield a broad spectrum of magical skills. They can also lead magical units too. Okay, Melissa can be recruited outside forts as well. So what that means is, like, these units, you need a fort to recruit them. Otherwise, you're recruiting like militia units, which are not as good. So Melissa. The Melissae, the honeybees, are the Archocephalian priestesses raised and trained in monasteries far from city life. Their training includes the study of nature magic and healing arts, so they're priests too. I don't know how to look up priest spells. Healer. Oh, she's a healer. Up to 1 affliction per month might be removed for every point of this ability. Okay, so she can remove up to 3 afflictions per month. That's really good. Okay, so they've learned the arts of mountain nymphs and have their skills in air magic as well. Upon reaching full sisterhood, the Melissa may leave her monastery to serve the awakening god and tend to the sick and wounded, a work in which they are unsurpassed. The Melissae are peaceful and rarely join armies. So yeah, I'm not really sure how you put them in an army. Maybe you just have them follow the army around. I'm not really sure. So she can feed 10 soldiers. That's cool. But yeah, priest spells have their own list of spells. One of the things I've seen priests do is turn people to stone. It's pretty cool. But they can do other stuff, I'm sure. I'm just not sure what. Okay. Philosopher. People of the Archocephali have always been brooding, kind, in hidden caves, mystics to question themselves to search for hidden truths. In cities, philosophers gather and speculate about the origins of the world, its morals, and the fabric of the universe. Some philosophers dive into the mysteries of the arcana and form hypothetical spell designs that are later tested by mystics. Philosophers can research even though they do not have any magical skill. So he's got improved research ability in a land with sloth. Okay, that's different. Bronze dagger. Yeah, they're pretty cheap. Windlore. During the Golden Era, there were still Pegasi living on the cloudy peaks of Mount Cephalos. Pegasi are captured and brought to the temple at the base of the mountain where they are trained as mounts for the Wind Riders. Sometimes a youngster arriving at Mount Cephalos for martial training is approached by Pegasi. These blessed ones are given special status of priestly training, otherwise restricted to women. After years of rigorous training, they become priest commanders of the Wind Riders. Priest. Oh, he's sacred. So they are half the cost to maintain, and they get the blessings of your god, which makes them very strong. That's cool. Combat caster. So you can cast spells in combat. That's really cool. Skilled rider. Increase the morale and defense of his mount. So his mount is tough. Armored Pegasus. Has protection. Pretty fast. Holy cow. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to read everything. It's going to take too long if I do that. I haven't even finished the first thing. So let's try to speed this up a bit. So Mage Engineer. He's got air and earth magic. He can also get a random magic skill. He can research and he's a siege bonus. So this is probably your best hero in this faction. But again, he can only be recruited in the capital. Yeah, these 3 here. Oh, these 4 actually. Only the capital can recruit them. So these are your elite units right here. Same with this. This Wind Rider is probably a sacred unit too. Yeah, sacred. Okay, what's this? Oread. She's got air magic, earth magic, nature magic, random magic. Really good research ability. She's sacred. Awe. Chance of being affected by awe is determined by the attacker's morale. So people will see her and they won't want to hit her. That's pretty cool. Resist poison. She's stealthy. She's got survival, recuperation. She heals her own wounds. Seduction. Seduce enemy commanders and sneak them away to a friendly province. Seduction is a stealthy action, can only be used against members of the opposite sex. The seduction must take place in a province bordering to friendly territory unless the seducer is able to fly away with the victim. Flying away can be done with victims that are the same size or smaller. Weird. Okay, that's cool. So she can seduce people. She's 780. Dang, she's old. Really powerful hero. Okay, so let's check out our units. Slingers. Yeah, Slingers, pretty self-explanatory. Cardasses, bronze spears, and shields. They don't have javelins. Somewhat better armed than Peltis, but lack the training of heavier troops, okay? Peltis, he's got javelins. Yeah, I wouldn't really use guys like that because they're super weak in melee. Icarids. Icarids sound pretty cool. But they're bronze swords and shields. They're weak against fire, which is interesting. But yeah, like flying, they'd be able to fly right after the commander. If you could kill the commander, then you can rout the guys really easily. Myrmidon. They're the elites. Got bronze armor and a shield. Pretty good protection. Charioteer. There's 2 Charioters. Oh, so there's a chariot with an archer. This chariot has 1 guy. This chariot has 2 guys. Chariot archer and a charioteer. Not sure how well those would be. Wind Riders. Okay, and then sites. So, every faction has a capital city. So their capital city is Mount Cephalos. So you'll always start at Mount Cephalos. And Mount Cephalos will always have these things here. So what are they? Academia. Enables recruitment of Philosopher. Produces 2 Earth Gems per turn. Enables recruitment of Engineer. Enables recruitment of Oread, Wind Lord, Wind Rider. 2 Air Gems and 2 Astral Pearls. So they get Earth Gems, Air Gems, and Astral Pearls. So those are the things that they specialize in. There are ways of getting other gems by capturing foreign territories, but they are few and far between. Because it's all random. You know, it's like, this is what I like about this game versus Warhammer, is Warhammer, it's always the same map, it's always the same loadout, the same people will always be in the same places. The only thing that changes in Warhammer is the cheats. It's called Faction Potential. Faction Potential makes the game random. So no 2 campaigns are the same. Sometimes you play a campaign and one faction will be really strong, and then the next time you play a campaign, the faction's really weak. It depends on which faction you play and random generation. So that doesn't really happen in this. You always start with the same territory, you always start with the same buildings, you always start with the same units. But what changes is, when you take the foreign territories, sometimes you'll be able to recruit different units than you normally could. Like, I took an area that allowed me to recruit sea creatures, and you could use the sea creatures to attack sea tiles. So that's just one thing that can happen. So you don't build buildings, you only build forts. Forts do not have these. Forts just allow you to recruit your advanced units and give you a protection bonus. So that's Archocephalae. So let's try and speed this up a little bit. So like Mycone, Brazen Giants. Mycone is a marvelous city inhabited by arrogant and warlike gigantes who have enslaved their neighbors and declared war upon the gods of men. To their aid, they have the crafts of the elder Cyclopes. Okay, so again, left click to select, right click to get more information. So Mycone is a city of gold and marble inhabited by gigantes, a race of exalted giants descended from an ancient god. Proud and endowed with mythical strength, the gigantes of Mycone have enslaved their neighbors and made themselves rulers over men. For ages, the gigantes have watched the lesser races and seen their kingdoms rise and fall. They witnessed the fall of Telkinus and the injustices done to the races of old. With the aid of the elder Cyclops, the gigantes of Mycone have taken it upon themselves to rid the world of the gods of men. Most of Mycone's population consists of human slaves, helots. The population of human slaves is discontent and unrest will increase in all forts. So they're military. Few gigantes armed with magical weapons. Mostly human slave soldiers, no sacred troops. That's really interesting. Okay, they're magic. They have fire, earth, air, and some water. Cyclops smiths. So the last faction we had didn't have smiths. It's not that you can't craft magical items, but smiths do it better. Kind of the way like siege guys do sieges better. So there are some factions with smiths. Priests, they're weak and few. They have inquisitors. Dominion, conflict bonus +1. Good at suppressing enemy dominion. Okay. So they're really good at bumping up against other factions. So scale and blesses their order limit +1. So they like order. So the last faction, they're philosophers like sloth. They'll get bonuses from sloth. They won't get bonuses from order. But this faction gets bonuses from order. So their buildings are advanced, fortified cities, and forts increase unrest. So the forts are probably like they do the same thing. It's just you end up having to deal with rebels more. So you might have to hire militia. You might have to have patrols to prevent unrest. So that's one thing that you might have to do with this faction. So let's check out their commanders. Perioci, Perioki, Periokai, Periosi, Periosai. I'm not really sure. He's just a scout. He's got survival. Subjugated settlements are given self-governments, so they're free unlike Helots, but have limited status and influence. Okay. Nyada mode commander. They're given freedom for their loyalty, bravery, or combat prowess. Decent leader. It's only 75. The better leaders are 100. Helot hop. Oh, wait. My bad. Locos. So Locos is a Gigante. And Golden Spears. Check this out. It's got a length of 4. So he can outrange human soldiers with his spear. It's got a high attack. Does piercing and magic damage. Magic damage. I think it affects... I'm not really sure what that does, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's interesting. So they're Gigante commanders of Myconian armies. They're skilled warriors and tacticians. Yeah, leadership of 100. That's pretty good. Geronte. Elders are members of the ruling council. Taskmaster. Slaves are less likely to break in combat when commanded by a taskmaster. Okay. Formation fighter. Fit more units into one square. Oh, so you could have like squares of 4 or 5 units maybe. That sounds pretty cool. So the value indicates the extra amount of size points that can fit in a square that consists of only formation fighters. So normally humans are a size of 3. Each tile can hold 10. A formation fighter can do 12. So normally you can fit 3 guys on a tile. These guys can fit 4 on a tile, which gives them extra attacks ability. He's old. Inquisitor. He can preach against other faiths, so I'm not sure what that means, but it's cool. And he's sacred too. So the Garantes must be all sacred. Was this guy sacred too? No, but he is a taskmaster and he's a formation fighter. Okay. What's an E4? Fire magic, earth magic, priest. He's got the same thing. What's the difference? That one's a priest with 1 magic. This is the more advanced version. And this is the extremely advanced version. Yeah, as you go up from these 3, his research ability gets higher. They're the magistrates. Polemark. Godslayer Spear. There will be a special effect when this weapon strikes. Bane of Heresy, fatigue damage, armor piercing, only affects gods and sacred units. Godslayer Spear. Damn. Fatigue damage is pretty potent because against a god, like if you reach 100 fatigue, you pass out. So that's pretty scary. Combat caster is a taskmaster, formation fighter. He's sacred. He's got level 2 fire magic, level 2 earth magic. That's pretty strong. Look at his armor. 23, 18, 22 protection. That's protecting all parts of his body. It's really good. Often accompanied by an E4 to bless him with the might of the God Slayer. Man, that would be pretty cool. Okay, Elder Cyclops can only be recruited in the capital. This guy is a master smith. Highly skilled at crafting magical items. For the purpose of crafting, he can add the value of this ability to all magic paths he knows. So he could probably make fire stuff, air stuff, and earth stuff. At a level that's higher than what he is. Oh, so he gets extra resources for the fort he is located in, and... Oh, resource, so he can recruit... So if he is in a settlement, you can recruit more units per turn. Because he's producing stuff for them. That's cool. He's got mountain survival. He's resistant to fire. Got good research. A lot of magical abilities. It's pretty cool. So they were once taught the secrets of metal crafting by the Telcanes. When the island of Telcanes sunk beneath the waves and his masters were imprisoned in Tartarus, the Elder Cyclops were spared in return for their services. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then Basilius. This guy's got fire and water and earth magic. Priest level 2. Yeah, so these guys all have formation fire. This is a really strong leader. 120 leadership, that's pretty high. Power of Mykonos is divided between the Basilius, the Archons, and the Polemarchs. So the Basilius is the priest king of the Gigantes. By virtue of might, he has claimed this title. Surpassed only by the Cyclops in magical might, the Basilius is the ceremonial master of the public cult of the god slayer of Mykonos. Revered by his kin and worshipped by humans, the Basilius is almost a god in his own right. Once a year, he inaugurates a champion of the god slayer and a purifying bath of water and flames. Okay, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I'm also going to put... We've already had a few people come through and check it out. But I'll put that welcome message just to have it there. Okay, so they've got some pretty strong leaders here. And they need to have strong leaders because they use slave troops, right? Yeah, let's check this out. Heal up Peltis. I haven't found ranged weapons to be particularly effective against player factions because player factions tend to have armor. Neutral factions are usually like leather and stuff like that, so these could do damage to that. But yeah, they're not that strong. Helot Ekdromos. This is the basic Helot troop. Lightly armed hoplites. Trained to move in formation and move with speed. Okay. There's two of them. Oh, Ekdromos and Hoplite. So these guys have long spears. These guys have more resource costs because they have a long spear. But like I said before, these guys have a long weapon. They can push other people's weapons away from them, which is really cool. Periochai Peltist. Discobulus. Oh yeah, these guys. They're naked giants that throw discs. So like, yeah, they're wrestlers. So they're trained from birth to become skilled soldiers. And those who give up their martial training become professional athletes. But now, when the war against gods has begun, many athletes join the armies once more. So they're good at disc throwing and pankration, which is unarmed combat. I don't know how well those guys would do. Like, they're pretty big. Gigante Ekdromos, Golden Spear. You're not going to be able to have that many people of these guys in the army. Oh, cannot be led by small commanders. Is that like that with this one too? Yeah, but they have to be led by giants. But this guy's a formation fighter. Skirmisher. Okay, so they can kind of fight on their own. So, these guys can fit two guys in a square, I think. It's pretty cool. So these guys have better armor. Gleaming Hauberk versus Gleaming Cuirass. Okay, what's their sights? City of Gold and Marble. Enables Polemark, Basilius. Increases recruitment limit +4. Oh, can be recruited faster. So they are able to recruit their giant units faster, I guess. Air Gem, Earth Gem. 2 Fire Gem, 2 Earth Gems. So they can get 3 Earth Gems, 2 Fire Gems, and 1 Air Gem. Okay, that's pretty cool. Produces 150 resources. So those are good for building these advanced units that require a lot of resources. Okay. So Pangea, the Age of Revelry. Pangea is a woodland realm of wild half-men. Pangea has stealthy satyrs, flying harpies, strong centaurs, and raging minotaur warriors. The Panai are powerful mages of nature and earth and are able to lure women into the wild. So Pangea, the Age of Revelry. Pangea is a woodland nation inhabited by wild beings connected with nature. Half-men such as satyrs, centaurs, and minotaurs serve the lords of the sacred groves deep in the forests. The expansion of civilized nations has forced the beasts of Pangea to arm themselves with man-made weapons. Minotaurs wield huge battle axes, and centaurs are trained to use spears and longbows. The magic of the Panai lures women into the forest where they turn wild and shed all their clothing. These women are called maenads and are turned loose to fight humans with their bare hands and teeth. Well, that's pretty freaky. Okay, so their race. Forest beings, stealthy troops. Troops will heal battle afflictions. Military. Satyr and Minotaur infantry, centaur archers, and warriors. Magic. Magical tunes. Nature. Earth. Glamour. Blood, and some water. Can conjure bramble forts. Priests. Average. Can perform blood sacrifices. Scales and blesses. Turmoil limit +1. Growth limit +1. Buildings. Primitive forts are more expensive. Temples cost 300 in forests. Lab costs 300 in forests. So can they only build in forests? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, so commanders. Black Harpy. She can fly. She's stealthy. Forest survival and recuperation. That means she regenerates her afflictions. Lacks the charisma to lead more than a few men. So this is the scout, basically. Satyr commander. It's got stealthy and recuperation. Forest survival. They can easily outrun the swiftest of humans. Minotaur Lord. This is pretty cool. Look at that damage. 29 damage. Like, that's almost enough to kill a giant in one hit. Because, like, a Minotaur could potentially kill a Minotaur in one hit. Theoretically. That's pretty cool. So he's a skilled warrior. Battle prowess is highly valued among Minotaurs, and only fighters will ever become Minotaur Lords. He's got Berserker and Trample. Instead of attacking with a weapon, this unit will charge straight into the enemy ranks and trample anyone who is not quick enough to move aside. Trample can only be used against smaller targets. Elephants can trample horses and humans, but they cannot trample dragons or other elephants. Ethereal units are less good at trampling and only cause half as much damage. Interesting. So he doesn't even have to attack with his weapon. He can just charge in and do damage. He also has Berserker. So the unit is capable of going Berserk if wounded. Berserking units get strength, attack, strength, protection, reduced defense, and will never break in battle. Mindless and mounted units will never go Berserk. Mounted units cannot go Berserk as long as they remain mounted. Okay, you can't go Berserk on a horse, because the horse won't let you, I guess. Okay. Berserk is pretty cool. I just need to drink a bit of coffee here. Man, there is a lot to go through. There's 101 factions. I don't know if I'll get through them all today. So, here we go. Next one. Centaur Hierophant. Can be recruited in all forests. Oh. Yeah, that's actually really cool. So, they don't necessarily have to build a fort. Yeah, you can just recruit from a forest. But a fort will give you more recruitment capacity. Okay. Centaur Hierophant is a priest with a random magic skill, has some research, is sacred, stealthy, inspirational. What's inspirational? Gives increased morale to all his troops, making them less likely to break in combat. That's cool. Okay. Most half-men in Pangea have brown hides. When a calf with the white hide is born, there is much celebration, for the young one is touched by the god and is sacred. Okay, and there are priests too. That's cool. So what's the difference between this? Hierophant and Hierophantide. Oh, it's a female. So, Serentide serves as priests and guardians of the sacred groves of Pangea, singing the sacred songs and helping the dryads. She got the same stats, I think. She's actually one less resource to cast, or to recruit. But otherwise, her stats are fairly similar. Like, she's female, so she has less hit points. She has less strength. But she has more defense. So yeah, that makes a big, well, not a really big difference. It's a minor difference, right? So, but that's cool. You can decide whether you want male or female to lead your armies. Okay, Dryad. Female satyrs. So, Dryad lore is different depending on where you go. Like in Warhammer lore and Dungeons and Dragons lore, a Dryad is a tree spirit. So they're made of wood, or they're like an elf-like being that's tied to nature, something like that. I kind of like that these dryads are female satyrs. Because like with the Hierophantide or whatever, right? Like, male and female monsters would have different names. And they'd have different roles in their societies and stuff like that. Okay, so they have nature magic, glamour magic. They're a level 2 priest. They can research. They're sacred. Awe. So Awe, if a unit tries to attack her in battle, she rolls an Awe check against them, and if they fail, they don't attack. Which is pretty cool. So it's kind of like she's so beautiful they don't want to attack her. It's kind of interesting. She's stealthy too. Forest survival. She can recuperate. Supply bonus seduction. Yeah, she can seduce enemy commanders. And Beastmaster. Animals have increased morale when commanded by a Beastmaster. I wonder if Minotaurs count as beasts. Not really sure. She uses her hooves to attack, okay. She's not a really strong attacker. Dryad Mother. Again, she's like priestly and all that. She's got Awe. Bigger supply bonus, Ivy Lord. This unit is perceived as an Ivy King by Vinemen, and more Vinemen will arrive with each summoning. So yeah, she can summon Vinemen into her armies, and she can put them in her army because she's a magical leader. She has a quarterstaff too. So she can kind of fight, but not that much. She's really expensive. Holy cow. And then a Pan. What's a Pan? Some kind of goat man. He's got blood magic, so he can do human sacrifice, I think. Animal Awe. Animals will not attack him. That's cool. Poison resistant, recuperate, Beastmaster, monster summoner. This unit has a chance of summoning one or more monsters per month. That's really cool. So in a year, you'd have 12 monsters in your army, and he's got really good magical leader. He's got some undead leader and some leadership. So he could have a pretty big army, I think. Let's read this. Panai are large beings with a ram's head upon a hoofed humanoid body. The Pan's hide is thick and furry and offers some protection. The Panai are lords of wild beasts and masters of nature magic. They are enigmatic and are most reclusive of Pangea's inhabitants. Living in remote groves and avoiding contact with other beings, the Panai shape the verdant greenery of the sacred groves with strange music produced from flutes, and leave their groves only on orders from the Lord of Pangea. Pangaea. Yeah, Pangaea. Panai are said to cause both animals and men to panic, and their flutes attract human females who shed all civilized manners to live a wild life of revelry. These females are called Maenads. More Maenads are attracted to a Pan in provinces with a strong scale of turmoil. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so let's check out the units. It seems like they have a lot of variety here. So Harpies, they can fly, they're stealthy. I don't see them doing a whole lot of damage. They don't have much morale either. Satyr Sneak. Oh, you could have like a bunch of sneaky units. Causes unrest. Okay, and he's undisciplined. You can only have the skirmish formation type and cannot be given any specific battle orders. They also receive a penalty to siege defense and patrol strength values. Okay. So, unrest. Interesting. Okay, Satyr Sneak, Satyr. This causes unrest. So they're like in Total War, you have raiders, and when you're attacking a settlement, the raiders will light the buildings on fire. So these guys are kind of like raiders. Satyr. Undisciplined, yeah. Just your basic unit, but they can sneak, which is pretty cool. Satyr warrior's got a shield, makes him a bit tougher. He's not undisciplined. He fights in formation. Reveler. He's a berserker. When they are driven by their fears and lust, they are once those who lose themselves into battle, lust, and revelry. So these guys berserk. So if you want someone that's a little bit stronger, you get these guys. Centaur. Bronze dagger, long bow, so a fast missile unit. Skilled at archery and resistant to magic. That's cool. Centauride, female centaurs. They're beautiful even when they are horses. Okay. Centauride warrior. She's got centaur barding and a shield. She got javelins. Really good combat speed. Centaur warriors go berserk in battle. Minotaur. They're undisciplined. Minotaur warrior. He's got a berserker of 5. He's got a leather hauberk too, so he's got some armor. White centaur. Okay, this guy is sacred. Got stealth, or survival and recuperation. Recuperation's really good because, like, the longer you fight these battles, the more injuries your guys will accumulate because they keep their injuries on each individual unit. So eventually you get to the point where a lot of your guys are wounded and they're slow in battle and stuff like that, but there's not much you can do about it. Having this just gives you a lot more flexibility. You can keep attacking with your wounded armies because they'll heal themselves, which is pretty cool. And then there's sites, the Grove of Gaia. 6 nature gems a turn. Increased growth by a maximum of 3. Crazy. Okay, Aramor, New Faith. Aramor is a human empire centered around a great city. The empire has just recently converted to the New Faith, and its magical skills are very versatile as mage priests from the Old Faith still linger. Let's check them out. So Aramor is an empire centered around a great city. Centuries has grown and become more powerful, more and more influential. Traders and travelers from near and far come to the city. By military campaigns, diplomacy, and trade, Aramor has become a power to be recognized. By adopting local traditions and beliefs, the Aramorians pose little threat to neighbors and conquered peoples. This is begun to change. A new god is rising. Old syncretistic faiths and spirit worship were banned by a prophet dressed in white shrouds. The remnants of his body and shrouds are buried in the holy city Eldgate, where the adherents of the new faith are awaiting the arrival of the reawakening god foreseen by the prophet. The all-encompassing old state cult of the Numinous still survives, but the pontifices and Flamen are slowly adopting the new faith. So these people are just straight-up humans. Straight-up, the first straight-up human, well, these guys are human, but they have, like, Pegasi. But yeah, Aramor is just straight-up human. Oh wait, what's this? Lizard Auxiliary. Okay. So they're a human race. Their military is human legionaries and lizard auxiliaries. Their magic is fire, death, astral, some water, earth, air, and nature. They have a lot of magic, okay? Priests are powerful and can heal afflictions. That's really good. Scales and blesses order limit +1. Buildings advanced force and starts with a fortified city. Cool. Let's check out their commanders. Scout. Basic scout. It's got survival and stuff like that. It's even got a bow. Assassin. Oh, okay, so assassins. Assassins can assassinate enemy commanders in the same province. The value indicates a possible patience bonus. If it is positive, there will be an increased chance of other units, including bodyguards, not being present when the assassination occurs. A high patience bonus will also increase the chance of any guards being asleep or surprised. It's cool. So our first assassin, and he's ambidextrous too. Anyone wounded with this weapon will be struck by a special effect. Damage +15. Oh, wow. That's really strong. Strong poison can kill a human in one hit. That's really strong. Okay, they can be used as scouts, but they're quite expensive. Okay, cool. That's the first assassin I've ever seen. Centurion. They wear plate cuirasses for protection. Pretty good leadership. Not very expensive. Doesn't have a shield. Legatus Legionis is a high commander. 150 leadership. He can lead a large army. Acolyte. Lowly priest. He's sacred, but he's a level 1 priest. Rarely allowed to lead soldiers. Yeah. I don't know how you can put a priest in an army if he's not leading it. Maybe you can move them into the same tile and they'll overlap. I'm not really sure. Bishop of the Sacred Shroud. Healer and recuperation. Okay. They were holy replicas of the Sacred Shroud of the Prophet. The sacred piece of the clock is unsurpassed healing abilities. They have all but replaced the Flamen as priests in the Empire. Okay. Augur. Soothsayers and seers who use flames and incense to foretell the future and the will of supernatural forces. Fortune teller. Oh yeah, bad events. So like random events can show up too. Sometimes they're good, but sometimes they can be bad. Augur Elder. Got death magic. Really good research. They're old. The Elders have sent several expeditions to the ancient kingdom of Cetis to find an old path of magic that will lead the Empire to world domination. So that might affect them in the next age. Man, it's already been an hour. Okay. Prefectus Equitum. Light lance. If this weapon is used, another weapon will be skipped instead. Okay, so they can only use a lance once. Made of iron. Charge bonus for first strike. Warhorse. Warhorse is sacred and has recuperation. Wow. So this guy's got recuperation too. And he's a priest. Sacred priests that lead armies are cool because they cast spells like turning people to stone and things like that. It's really cool. Archbishop of the Shroud. Really strong priest. Is also a healer. There's a space there because this flag. Flamen. They are mage priests of the old faith. Grand communicant. Is able to join or lead a grand communicant. Joining a grand communicant is magical in the path of the ritual cast by another grand communicant will be added to the power of the ritual. Only global spells or dispels are effective. So, really good at rituals, I'm guessing. Pontifex. Bridge builders were the high priests of the old faith. Okay. So what kind of armor? Slinger? Yeah, slinger, whatever. A census. He's got javelins and so like oh, what do you call them? Rorori? These guys are like Roman. Retiarius? Retiarius. Okay, they use exotic weapons. They use a net and a trident. What does a net do? Catch someone in the net. That's cool. What's this? Flail? So blunt damage. On head hits, damage is increased by 25% before the armor is deducted. Pretty cool. Yeah, getting a headshot would be pretty powerful. Levy. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Javelin and spear. Rorari. Yeah, Rorari are young soldiers not experienced to join the Stadi. They're often placed behind the Triari where they should be safe. Lizard Auxiliary. Okay, during the subjugation of Cetis, lizard soldiers were recruited into Armorian ranks. Lizard auxiliaries have since been a regular part of the Armorian army. The lizards are armed as the Stadi, but wear ringnail cuirass of Cetisian design and use round shields instead of power shields standard to the Imperial legions. Okay, so they have the javelin and a sword. Poison resistant, cold-blooded. They get exhausted very quickly when fighting in cold provinces. Oh dear. They can swim across rivers on the main map. Swimming units also only have minor penalties for fighting underwater. Swamp survival. Yeah, so they can fight in swamps. That's cool, but how did you need, if you could have a lizard leader that could swim, that would be cool, but there's no lizard leaders. Status. Stadia are the basic unit of Armorian army. Okay, so these are just Roman dudes. Principe. Will form the second line behind the Stadi. If the Stadi fall, the Principes will deal a second and decisive blow against the armor. They have thick-scaled Lorica Squamata. Their defense doesn't go down very much. Like, their helmet doesn't lower the defense, which is nice. Triarius, long spears. They form the third rank of the formation. They're hard, hand-picked old veterans trusted not to rout. They're given heavy plate armor and long spears to fight in dense formations. They're formation fighters, so they can fight like 4 to a square, which is nice. Standard. Okay, so you can increase the morale of a squad by putting a standard in there. Okay. Equities. Equity of the Sacred Shroud. It's got Skilled Riders, Sacred, and Recuperation. Champions of the New Faith. Okay, and what's their site? Temple of the Shroud. 3 Fire Gems and 3 Astral Pearls. Okay, so that's Ermor. Alright, I gotta take a break to use the bathroom, and then I'll be back to do the rest of these. Okay. Probably just gonna leave the headphones off for now because they're a little distracting. Like, the music is, I enjoy the music, but trying to focus on words while music is playing, I can't really do that. Getting to be a little bit distracting. And we still have so many to go. Holy cow. Young. Okay, so that was Aramor. Sauromatia, the Amazon Queens. Sauromatia is a tribal nation ruled by women. Cool. Swift raiders and lancers from the back form the backbone of the armies. Amazon warriors and androphages. I don't know. I don't really like that word. Androphages. Yeah, let's do androphages, okay? Are the sacred elites of the Sauromations, witch kings, masters of dark sorcery, rule the androphage tribe. Hydras from the Pythian Marsh are tamed and used in warfare. Okay. English is hard, guys. Come on. So let's check them out. So Sauromatia is a nation of nomadic warrior tribes ruled by women. Men and women fight side by side, and all prominent tribes are ruled by warrior queens. This is a legacy of the Sauromations merging with the Amazon tribes in times past. The Amazons' leaders were not accepted because they were not warriors, but they influenced the Sauromations, and women warriors gained power and prestige. Only the tribe of the Androphages has totally rejected the notion of female leadership. Androphages are ruled by ancient witch kings, who introduced cannibalism and man-flaying to the Sauromations. Oh dear. Androphages also use hydras from the marshes of Pythia in warfare. Dang, that's pretty hardcore. So, military, light and medium cavalry, serpent riders, lizard riders, and hydras. That's cool. Magic is death, nature, blood, some astral, some water. Priests are weak, perform blood sacrifices. Don't know what that does. And their buildings are just standard forts. There's nothing special about that. Okay, scout. Typical scout. Soothsayer. Fortune teller. Sormation diviners. She got ringmill. They got ringmill clearest on. Soothsayers are not fully trusted though. If one is suspected of fraud, 3 other soothsayers are called in to pass judgment on the suspected charlatan. If found guilty, he is fettered on the wagon together with his sons and set on fire. Holy cow! This practice ensures the loyalty of soothsayers, but has also resulted in animosity between them. Soothsayers have a slight chance of preventing bad events in the provinces where they dwell. Okay. Random magic skill 0. Okay. What does that even mean? Okay, chieftain. Pillager. This unit is more effective at pillaging and will kill and loot more when performing this command. A fast pillaging army, map move of 20 or more, can also make a special raid command where they will first move and possibly fight and then pillage. Only troops with the pillager trait will contribute to the raid's pillage, and it will be less effective than an ordinary pillage. Interesting. Magic horse tattoo. When awakened by magic, horse tattoos will give limited invulnerability and skilled rider. What the heck? Step horse. Interesting. Mobile archer. They can fire while moving. He can fire while moving, but he only carries a lance. Okay. And his horse is only worth 2, so he can fit 2 in a tile. Interesting. Okay. Sarmation Manflayer. Prominent warriors of the tribe have slain several enemies in battle and laid them. They place the skin of their fallen enemies on a gruesome standard and inspire their fellows to ferocious bravery. Yeah, that's skin. Damn. The number of tattoos representing standing in society and more prominent warriors are covered in dark etchings. We got magical tattoos. That's cool. Warrior Queen. She's sacred. Got Pillager, Magic Horse tattoo. Mobile Archer, but again, she doesn't have a ranged weapon. Weird. Warrior Priestess. Skilled Rider. Pillager. Priest level. Yeah, so these guys don't really have infantry. It's pretty cool. Spirit Guide's got Death Magic, Spirit Sight. Makes it possible to see into the spirit realm and see the true essence of beings. On units with Spirit Sight get no penalties from darkness and can see invisible units. Oh man. So in my campaign that I played, I went up against a faction who could glamorize themselves. And what would happen is their armies would move on the map and you couldn't see them. So what would happen is I'd be moving around and then all of a sudden I'm getting into a battle with these people. And they have a unit called Valkyries, and the Valkyries can fly. So they fly to your backline and kill all your archers. And then they go after your commander. So pretty scary. But having someone that can see stealth, that would be really good. They take care of the dead. Okay. Inari. Prominent guides and soothsayers. They set themselves apart by donning women's clothing and wearing jewelry. They speak with voices pitched pleasant to the spirits they serve. They live apart from society, but are often called upon to judge in matters of spiritual importance. Enemies have a slight chance of preventing bad events. Interesting. It's got a supply bonus and research ability. Nature and death magic. Cool. Can lead undead. He's got death magic, so theoretically he could hire like zombies and skeletons. Warrior Sorceress. This is cool. She rides on a lizard. Magic Horse Tattoo, Magic Snake Tattoo. Snake tattoos will give limited invulnerability and magic resistance to the unit. Interesting. And she's a combat caster too. When the Jade Amazons arrived in Sarmatia, they were led by sorceresses and priestesses. So to remain in power, the Amazon royalty changed their ways and turned to war. The young maidens selected to become sorceresses must also pass rigorous martial and priestly training. Those who fail the martial training die. Those who fail the magical training become Oyorpada? Okay. Man flayers or sacred warriors mounted on lizards. A legacy from their Amazon past. Most Sauromatians decorate themselves with tattoos. A number of tattoos representing standing in society, and more prominent warriors are covered in dark etchings. So magical tattoos is a pretty cool idea. Hydra Tamer. Skilled resist to the noxious fumes of the Hydras. They are the only commanders capable of catching and training Hydras. We got a magic snake tattoos and beast master, tight rein. Exceptionally good at leading unruly subjects. Undisciplined units under his command are not restricted to skirmish formations and can be given specific battle orders. Oh, so he can actually lead the Hydras in battle. That's pretty cool, because like, I mean, I don't know what Hydras are like, but to be able to lead a bunch of monsters, that's pretty cool. Man Flayer. Rides on a lizard. Yeah, he's got the human skin banner. Slain several enemies and flayed them. They place their skin on the gruesome standard and aspire their fellows to ferocious bravery. That's pretty cool. So what's the difference? Man Flayer and Witch King. Oh, Witch King's got tons of magic. Holy cow. Death magic, nature magic, blood magic, random magic. He's got high research. He's sacred. He has fear. They're exceptionally good at pillaging provinces. Okay, that's pretty cool. Poison resistant, he can swim. Swamp survival, supply bonus, magic snake tattoo. Okay. The Androphages are ruled by Witch Kings, skilled in dark sorcery. The Witch Kings rule by strength and harsh justice. Those who oppose them are swiftly killed. They are formidable warriors, and it is said the blood of serpents flows in their veins. The Witch Kings have unnaturally long lives, and few remember how they first rose to power. Most likely their strength and sorcery is a gift from supernatural forces. Yeah, he's 221. You know, he's not a real man. Got 15 hit points too. Witch King, like, he's not human anymore. So, the Witch Kings introduced cannibalism and man-flaying to the Sauromatian people. Feeding on one's fallen enemies is only practiced by the Androphages, but man-flaying is a widely accepted practice in all of Sauromatia. The Witch Kings used flayed skins standards and wear skull-faced masks. They are truly horrible to behold. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of flavor in these games. Sauromatian archers got a composite bow with high maximum range. That's the highest range I've seen on a bow. Usually it's like 30 or 35. Decorates himself with tattoos. Androphage archers got a magic snake tattoo with poison bow. Weak poison. That's cool. Poison arrows. Sauromatian Amazon. They levy shock infantry in Sauromation. Magic snake tattoo. Okay, that's pretty cool. Raider. Okay, so mobile archer. This is why they have those traits. It's because of these guys. Being able to shoot from horseback must be pretty cool. Because I've not seen a battle like that before. Lancer. Okay, so it's like the steppe tribes, basically. It's like the steppe tribes mixed with Amazons. Sauromatians only allow women to wear heavy armor. The heavier the armor and horse barding a warrior owns, the higher her place in society. And they all like tattoos. So magic tattoos is pretty cool. Sauromatian rider. Sauromatian lancer. Cataphract. Hydra hatchling. Lesser heads, great head. Has poison. Oh, the great head has strong poison. Look at all these abilities. Unsurroundable. So he can only be attacked twice before getting a harassment penalty to his defense, so you can handle being surrounded. That's kind of cool. Undisciplined, poison cloud. He's surrounded by noxious fumes. Be careful when placing this unit on the battlefield. Oh, yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near the Hydra then. You can swim. Susceptible to fire. Pierce and blunt resistant. You have to slash this unit. That's cool. Take only half the normal damage from these attacks. That's really good. Regeneration. Cool. So Hydra hatchlings still have the abilities of an adult. That's cool. Hydra. 1, 2, 3, 4 lesser heads and 1 greater head. I kind of like this. It's like a big snake instead of like the usual kind of monster thing. Unsurroundable 4. That's really good because getting surrounded in this game is pretty bad. Okay. Oyorpada. Yes, Oyorpada. What she said. She's sacred. It has the tattoos, the magic tattoos. Androphage. Not only do they flay their enemies, they feed on them. The practice of cannibalism was introduced by the Witch Kings, and the tribe has been called the Man-Eaters ever since. Okay. Magic snake tattoo. Okay, what's their sights? The Great Cauldron. Gives them all of these. 2 blood slaves per turn. Okay. 3 death gems. 1 water gem. 1 nature gem. And the swamps of Pythia, where they get their hydras from. Cool. That's Sauromatia, the Amazon Queen. So now we got Fomoria, the Cursed Ones. Fomoria is a bountiful land inhabited by malformed giants. The land was attacked by wave after wave of invaders. Of these, the Furbolg, lesser descendants of the Nemedians, have established themselves and live in peace with the Fomorians. A few of the magically powerful Nemedians also linger, defeated remnants of an invading people now subject to their old enemies. Okay, the bountiful land of Fomoria was claimed by giants who once guarded the dark and stormy ocean realm of the drowned dead. With death ever near, their loyalties had changed and their malice grown. With the ascendancy of a previous Pantokrator, they were punished for their sins and banished from their dark home. The full effects of the curse became evident when the Fomorians settled in a fertile land. Their offspring were short and cursed with a monstrous appearance. The few surviving Fomorian giants saw their once proud race degenerate and die. Then came the invasions. Patholonians, Nemedians, Furbolg, and Tuatha all claimed the land of Fomoria. Twice the Fomorians were all but defeated by foreign magic, and twice they conjured a plague that slew the invaders. The third wave of invaders, the Furbolg, accepted Fomorian rule and aided the giants in defeating the Tuatha. Now Furbolg composes much of the Fomorian population. Fomorians are skilled shipwrights, powerful stormcrafters, and have a legacy of mastery over the dead. Cool. So their race, malformed Fomorian giants, Furbolg, remnant Nemedians, ocean sailing, and units able to enter the sea. Cool. Military, Furbolg infantry, Fomorian infantry, Nemedian infantry. Magic, air, glamour, death, some water, and nature. Priests, mostly weak, Fomorian king of average skill. Buildings, giant forts. Okay. Furbolg scout, they're the descendants of the Nemedians, a proud race that once warred with the Fomorian giants and were forced to leave the land. The Furbolg returned to Fomorian ages later and accepted Fomorian rule. Okay. Got red hair, some kind of barbarian dude. Got survival, it's good. Fomorian scout. How does this guy sneak? Malformed giants, they have like a beast head. Many of them suffer from afflictions such as limps and missing eyes. Almost all are cursed with goat-like heads. Warriors and champions among the Fomorians are often taken from clans when the curse is weaker and fewer members suffer from afflictions and unfortunate. He's not a leader. What do you do with that? Oh, he's a scout. Duh. Furbolg champion. Okay, Furbolg leader. He's pretty old, 59. Fomorian champion. Got a javelin. Bronze spear. Pretty big, pretty strong. Not a strong leader, only 75. Like a good leader is 100 or more. Unmarked champion. So he's sacred and blessed. He's a priest. Yeah, he's a priest and he's sacred. Okay. Purple druid. Got air magic and random magic skill. Are usually reclusive and bitter fellows who still long for a purple kingdom pearl. They're not as powerful as they once were, but they try to confirm this the meaning of this their life and the magic powers become infinite. Okay. Fomorian druid. Oh, he can lead magical creatures. I wonder what kind of things you can summon with magic. Not really sure. Median champion. He's got a golden sword. It's magical. Magic damage. What's this? Spellsinger. Spellsingers take more time to cast spells, but also take far less fatigue. Also got dark vision. Iron vulnerability. Vulnerable to iron. Interesting. Okay. Glamour. Yeah, glamour. In battle, they mirror their own image while moving. They take on the appearance of common men. These units cannot be detected by enemies while moving in their own lands and are very difficult to spot when hiding in enemy territories. Yeah. So there's like a faction where all their units are like that. And they're pretty tough to get a handle on. So he's a sacred priest with death and glamour magic. Cool. The median sorceress. Oh, look at this. Air magic, death magic, glamour, and a random. Pretty good research ability. Yeah, she's like magical. Medians have merged the old magical traditions of their Partholonian ancestors and the magic of their Fomorian masters. Sorceresses skilled in death and glamour magic hide in dark spires of Wrath Kimbaith, where they summon whispering shades of mist and darkness. 416. Yeah, she's not young. Fomorian king. Pretty expensive. 675 gold. Well, look at these abilities. Gift of water breathing. So he can take an army underwater, as long as it's under 250 size points. He's got dark vision. Sailing. Can bring men with him crossing the sea. The total size of the men, including the commander, must not be greater than the size point value. A single unit cannot be larger than the max size value. So he's 9. So he could have like 100 dudes his size on a boat. That's pretty crazy. Cold resistant, shock resistant, amphibian. Okay. Sacred costs 2 holy points to recruit. Sacred 2. Okay. He's like really sacred. Dang. Research ability. He's got priest, death magic, and air magic. So the Fomorian king is the king of giants who once guarded the realm of the watery dead. Under their rule, the Fomorians emerged from the depths and sailed to distant shores to plunder and ravage the land with plague and gale. Punished for their sins, the Fomorians were banished and forced to find a new home. The Fomorian kings are powerful stormcrafters and death mages. They protected their land from the invading Partholonians and their descendants with plagues and further doomed their race. Fomorian kings are cursed with monstrous appearance and only have one eye. They are formidable shipwrights and can enter ocean realms. That's pretty cool. That's the first time I've seen someone with ocean abilities in this game. Okay, Furbolg Militia. Furbolg Slinger. Furbolg Warrior. They're pretty old. Yeah, they're all in their 50s. Furbolg Warrior. Fomorian Militia. Fomorian Javelinist. Fomorian Spearman. Fomorian Warrior. Median Warrior. Got magical weapons. They're old, 115. Highly magical race far superior to ordinary men, but they were few in number. Kind of like the Nords in Elder Scrolls. the Nords were few in number because they came from another continent and they conquered Skyrim. They took it from the Snow Elves. So Nords and Skyrim used to all be able to use the voice. That was their racial ability. And resist frost and stuff like that. But now they only keep the frost resistance. They don't have the voice, because like only the Dragonborn can use the voice, right? Okay. Unmarked. Untouched by the physical afflictions of the curse, with the goat's head as the only visible sign of the curse, these families have risen in power and influence. Many of them are trained as priests, mages, or sacred warriors of the kingdom. Okay. Fomorian giant. Okay, yeah, he's got one eye. Dark vision, cold resistant amphibian. Costs 2 holy points to recruit. Yeah, these guys are not cheap. So what's their sights? Isle of Balor. We got water gem and air gem. Glamour gem and death gem. Cool. It's Femoria. Oh boy, here's a name for you. Tir Na Nog, land of the ever young. Tir Na Nog is a blessed isle ruled by a magical race known as Tuatha and their city descendants. Firbolg, lesser descendants of the Nemedians, compose much of the population. The city and Tuatha are able to weave illusions to hide their true appearance. Okay, Tir Na Nog is a blessed isle surrounded by whispering mists. It is the home of the Tuatha, a highly magical race descended from the Nemedians who once warred with the Fomorians. The Tuatha have made themselves lords and masters over the Firbolg, a lesser race descended from the same Nemedian ancestors. With the aid of the Firbolg, the Tuatha attacked the Fomorian giants and almost succeeded where the Nemedians failed. But eventually the Fomorians proved too powerful and the Tuatha were driven back to their blessed isle. The Tuatha and their city descendants have turned to crafts, poetry, and magical arts. But some have chosen the path of war and become warriors and generals of great renown. The Firbolg, inferior to the Tuatha but still far superior to ordinary men, compose much of the population and serve as farmers and lowly warriors, so yeah, they got Firbolg units as well. So the race Tuatha, City, Firbolg, and Illusions. Their militia are Firbolg infantry, City infantry, and sacred Tuatha warriors. Their magic is glamour, nature, water, some air, and earth. Their priests are average. Their skill and blesses are luck limit +1 and magic limit +1, and their buildings are standard forts. Scout, you know, champion. Okay, Balban City is a city descendant of the Morrigans. She is a seductress and blood drinker who haunts the wilderness. She takes the appearance of a stunningly beautiful maiden and lures humans to her deadly embrace. Balban City are skilled in the use of glamour magic. Balban City take great discomfort from iron and avoid it if they can. She's a spell singer, she's an assassin, dark vision, vulnerable to iron, she can glamour. She's very stealthy. 85 stealth is pretty high. She's got glamour magic. Spooky. Life drain. Yeah, some kind of... I wonder if she gets health back from that. Spooky. Okay. Purple Druid. Got air magic and random magic. City Champions got nature, glamour. They're sacred. You got all those magical abilities. Magic sword. Skilled in crafts. She's good at research. City Lord. Bay Horse. Oh, the horse is magical. True Sight. Okay, well, you can see through things. Oh, the unit will try to find its way home after losing its rider. If it manages to get home, it can be recruited again, together with a new rider for half the usual price. The value is the chance that it will try to continue walking home each month, but an easy morale check must be passed to avoid desertion. Okay. Okay, they got all their magical abilities. City Lord and a Ree. The Ree is a Tuatha king skilled in warfare, poetry, and magic. He enters battle mounted on a noble Fey horse armed with enchanted weapons, dressed in illusions. Really good leadership ability, but he's expensive. 530, that's pretty expensive. got dark vision. He has dark vision and his horse has true sight. Okay, 2 off the sorceress. Oh, really high glamour magic, 14. Really high research. Dark vision and true sight. Master the magic of dreams and false appearances. Okay. Furbolg militia. Nothing special. Furbolg slinger. Furbolg warrior. There's 2 Furbolg warriors. One with a bronze axe, one with a bronze spear and a javelin. City warriors got bronze spears and javelins. They have glamour. They're weak to iron. Yeah, okay. Waffle warrior. Golden spear. Magical spear. Descendants of the Numidians who warred with the Fomorians in ancient times. Yeah. Cool. So what's their sights? During the Node, gives them 3 glamour gems. And Magmor gives them 2 nature gems and 1 earth gem. So that's their stuff. Okay, Marverni, time of druids. So the Marverni is a nation of tribal chieftains led by druids, powerful readers of the stars and the earth. Most warriors fight bare-chested, but noble warriors wear chainmail armor. Guttuators adorn the warriors with magical tattoos. Okay. So Marverni is a nation of tribal chieftains guided by druids and religious magistrates. The tribes have a long history of war and infighting, but recent developments have joined the tribes in pursuit of a single goal. The most prominent tribes are the Marverni, the Ambibates, the Poni, and the Carnutes. The Sequani, though a small tribe, are influential due to the large number of druids among them. The Smiths of the Marverni tribe are reputedly the inventors of chainmail and most nobles of the tribe. Noble warriors fight bare-chested, both wear tattoos with other magical powers. The Ambibates are known for their martial skills. The Poni nobles fight on horseback and are the only cavalry available to the nation. The Carnute tribe guards the sacred forests and Carnutes from the Druid gathering. Carnute warriors are considered berserk when wars are a sacred symbol for the Marverni nation. For their race as humans, the military is light and medium infantry, medium cavalry. Their magic is earth, astral, nature, and water. Their priests are medium, they can perform blood sacrifices. Standard forts and temples cost 300. Here's the Marverni scout. Magical bear tattoo. Okay. Stealthy. Marverni chieftain. It's inspirational, I just got the bear tattoo. They were the inventors of chainmail armor. Ambivate chieftain. Magic wolf tattoo. Okay, so Carnutes. Magical bear tattoo. Boar tattoo. Yeah, he is a berserker. Carnutes. Carnutes live in the Great Wood of Carnutes. Here the druids gather annually. The Carnute warriors are well known for their wild and aggressive demeanor. Chieftain, magical horse tattoo, got broadsword and javelins. Virgobrets, Marverni magistrates. They're sacred. They're a priest. Not allowed to perform important sacrifices. 20 stargate. They're a very small tribe. They're peaceful and have long since given up warfare. In times of strife, they have been able to use their good relationships with more powerful tribes. They become skilled in philosophy and astrology, and many nobles of the tribe have some magical skill. What's this? Fortune teller? Yeah, okay. Not like a powerful mage. Supply bonus. Nature and priest. Priests of the wild and elements. The Guttuators. Guttuator? I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. They can perform blood sacrifices for their reward, and do not dabble in blood. Druids. Got earth, astral, priests. This grand communicant. So yeah, these guys are good at ritual spells, which I have no experience with. Okay. Warlord. sacred and they go berserk. Okay. Elder Druid. Pretty good spell abilities. Okay. Slinger. Javelin. Bare-chested warrior. Yeah, naked warriors. That's cool. They got the bear tattoo. And the bare-chested warrior. Just a reskin, basically. Carnute, bare-chested warrior. So, it just depends on which one you want. Animate, noble warrior. Carnute, noble warrior. Morverni, Thornblower. He's a standard. Pony Knight. Okay. Boar Warrior. Berserker, Sacred Tattoos, Chainmail Armor. They don't sound too bad. Carnutes. We got 3 Astral Pearls, 2 Earth Gems, and 1 Nature Gem a turn. Okay. So we're about to do the next one. I need to take a quick break because, like, just sitting here and reading, I don't mind doing it, but I'm getting antsy. That's why I'm not listening to the music, because it makes me antsy. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, man. It's been an hour and 49 minutes, and I've only gotten through a few of these, so I'll try to do as many of them as I can today while I have time. I do plan on getting some gameplay today, but I want to look at all of these, because I haven't had a chance to do that yet. So the next faction is Ulm, Enigma of Steel. Ulm is a nation with a barbarian legacy. They are strong and proud and worship steel and the spirits of the wild. The warriors of Ulm are stealthy and well-versed in the ways of the wild. The warrior smiths are masters of magical forging. Let's right-click on them. So Ulm is a land of cold mountains and dense forests. These wild lands were settled by proud and fierce barbarians in ages past. Their ancestry has made the inhabitants of the forest stronger and more resilient to the cold climate of ordinary men. Upon becoming men, youngsters are given a single knife and left in the forest at first snowfall. Those who survive the winter are allowed to return to their family. The barbarians of Ulm live in small settlements ruled by chieftains and warrior smiths who search for the enigma of steel. Steel is a sacred metal and its maker is as well. Smithing has become the equivalent of making a sacrifice to the Lord, and no other culture has developed such skill in forging magical items. Horses are rare, and those who use them in warfare are held in contempt. Sneak attacks, on the other hand, are common, and many warriors use stealth to engage opponents in hand-to-hand. So their race, barbarians. So not humans, barbarians. Like Conan. Partial cold resistance, prefers cold scale +1. Okay, their military is strong medium infantry and stealthy infantry. Their magic is earth, nature, fire, air, water, some death, superior magic item forging. Their priests are weak. Scales and blesses, cold limit +1. Building standard forts, and forts produce 25% more resources. So, pretty straightforward. They don't have, because their magic is not super strong, you don't really have to dabble into it too much. You can focus more on just building armies of units. So let's check them out. Their roster's not very big, but it's decent. So here's Scout. Warrior Scout is cold resistant. He can walk through snow, and he's ambidextrous, so he's actually pretty good at using both of his weapons. But don't expect him to do well in combat. Warrior Chief, he's a pretty good leader. He can get guys into line formation because his leadership is at 100. He's got Scale Mail, which is pretty good protection. And he's got a great sword. Look at that damage, 25 damage. A great sword can kill a unit in one hit. He's really strong. 16 hit points is really high. 10 is the average. Shaman, he's got Earth Mage, Priest, and Random Magic skill. They're all cold resistant. Oh, he's a bad researcher. I think that's new. I don't remember him having that before. Yeah, he's not a good researcher. That's too bad. Yeah, and you can move in snow. Warrior Smith. Yeah, he's got a forge bonus, a resource bonus. He can survive in the mountains and the forests. He's got earth magic and random magic. He can research. He's not bad at research, so I'd probably get these guys for research rather than these guys, because these guys can also build magical items too. And then Antlered Shaman. He's got strong magic, still a pretty weak priest. Yeah, their priests only go up to level 1 as far as I know. He's not the best leader, so they're not super strong leaders, leader of the 100. Yeah, so they're not the most advanced faction. They're pretty simple, but I like them because of their flavor. So Axe Warrior. Got 2 axes. Can survive in the mountains. He's a skirmisher. Axe Warrior and Warrior. Axe Warrior has 2 axes and a throwing axe. Warrior has a broadsword and an axe. They're the same cost. It just depends on what weapons you want to use. Archer, they're women. They're skirmishers. So they don't have a penalty fighting in a loose formation. Forest Warrior, so he still gets mounted survival, but he's got a green cloak. So if you want guys with green cloaks, you can use Forest Warriors. Mountain Warriors have gray cloaks. They're basically the same unit. Warrior Maiden, just an archer with Scale Mail, which is a bit tougher. So if you want to use archers and have them do okay in melee, you want to recruit Warrior Maidens instead of archers. Oh, archers can be recruited in all highlands, mountains, and forests, so they're easier to get archers. Easier to get those. Shield Maiden. Yeah, Warrior Women, pretty cool. They all have the same things, too. They can walk through snow, they're all stealthy, they all have survival in mountains and forests. Iron Warrior. Okay, I like these guys, they have mauls. So blunt weapons do extra damage on headshots. And it's got pretty high base damage anyway. So these guys can, if they get lucky, they can usually take a dude out in one hit, which is pretty good. Steel Maiden. She's got double swords. Scale Mail. So a pretty strong fighter. But the thing, the difference between men and women is their stats, right? So women will have fewer hit points, but they'll have better defense and better speed. Men have more hit points and more strength, but they have lower defense and lower speed. So that's the only difference, really. Okay. And then the Steel Warrior. So Ulm is probably the only faction that I know that has steel in the early age. And steel weapons are pretty strong. Like 25 damage, that's a lot of damage, right? It says it's made of iron, but it says Steel Warrior, so... Oh, fatherless children are treated harshly in Ulm. They are kept as slaves and brought to the Wheel of Pain, where they are forced to do heavy labor while exposed to the elements. Those few who survive are adopted by the shamans and given training by spirits of ancient swordsmen summoned by shamans. Steel warriors are sacred and fight with great two-handed swords. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, the Wheel of Pain enables the recruitment of steel warriors. And the Immon Soul, 3 earth gems, 2 nature gems, and 1 death gem. So that's their magic. Okay. Pyren. Oh, how does that accent work? Pyren, Pyren. Okay. So, Pyren. I'm gonna call it Pyren. Or Pyrene. Pyrene. I'm gonna call it Pyrene. That's easier. Is mostly populated by Beckreeds, primitive humans, but they have allied themselves with giants of the wilderness above their caves. The mightiest of these giants are skilled in magic and have taught Beckreeds how to farm and craft metal. So let's check them out. Pyrene is a realm of sprawling caverns beneath a densely forested mountain range. Here the Beckreeds cave dwellings of former kingdom. Beckreeds live pastoral live. What? I gotta look that word up. I have never seen that word before. It sounds like troglodyte pastoral. I want to look up the definition of that word. Yeah, that is insane. Okay, well that's just a made-up word, but basically I think what it means is they live like a hunter-gatherer. Yeah. Herding cave cows and flying ghosts through the vast caverns in search of mushroom meadows and muck fields filled with nutritious mineral. With the aid of ancient giants skilled in crafting and farming, the Beckreeds have spread to the mountains and forests surrounding their cavernous realm. Beckreeds are primitive by most standards, but with the guidance of the Basajaunak and the Gentilak, they have learned how to craft metal, and now the Beckreeds field small groups of elite warriors with metal armaments. In the mountains above the Pyrene Caves lies Mount Anbota, where the Sorganak gathers. These servants of the primordial storm deity have been allies of the Gentilak since time immemorial. Now they aid the Beckreed kings as a favor to the Gentilak. In the mountains also live the Tartalo, sheep-herding cyclopses of limited mental faculties. So the race are cave-dwelling humans and various giants. Their economics are extra gold and resources and cave forts. Humans, or military, are humans and giant infantry, boulder-thrown giants. Magic is earth, air, some nature, and water. Priests are weak. Standard forts, temples cost 300, and labs cost 300. So they're commanders. You got a scout, champion. What kind of stuff do they have? Undisciplined. They have dark vision. So they're just like weird primitive dudes. Scepter. Not a good researcher. Shepherd. Summon allies. This commander can summon allies as an order. Oh, okay, I wonder what kind of things they can get. While in a cave, a Beckreedy shepherd can capture and train cave cows. Well, I wonder what cave cows do. He's resistant to fire, too. Okay, Tartalo. Pastoral cyclopean giants that tend their flocks of mouflon sheep on the mountain slopes of Pyran. You can summon allies to Gluttony. Consume supplies equal to a monster this size, many points larger. Okay. Weird. Bebrix, first Beck-reading king. Formed an alliance with the Gentilak, unified the Beck-reads, named the caves after his daughter Pyrene. Okay. His name's been adopted as a title by his successors. So he's sacred. It's a sacred unit. Myru champion. He's got maul, and javelins. It's just like a giant with basic skills. They can be almost invincible when they bring their magic to battle. Okay. Sorgina. Sorganak were once servants and assistants of an ancient deity of storms and fertility. Look at all this stuff. Storm immunity. Okay. Dark vision. She can fly, shape change, or turn into a black cat. Weird. Okay. Really strong spellcaster. Gentle. He can forge. That's cool. Bassa Jun. He's got a forge bonus. What are these? Wild men are solitary beings who live in solitude or in married pairs. The females are known as Bassandarak, and they share the same traits as their husbands. They are more skilled in fertility, magic, and agriculture. Okay, so it's some kind of magical person. Okay, their units. Doesn't really look like anything special here. Just guys with spears and stuff like that. Great club. That's really high damage. And they've got pretty high hit points too. Not bad. Bebrix Guard. This is probably their best unit here. Short sword with scale mail. Bodyguard. Oh yeah. This unit is extremely loyal and will protect his commander to the death. The value of this ability is added to morale when guarding a commander. During assassinations, units with this ability will have an increased chance of being present. And if present, they are also less likely to be asleep or surprised. The same value of this ability and the assassin ability cancel each other out. Okay, that's the first bodyguard I've seen. What's their sights? 1 earth gem, 2 earth gems, that's 3 earth gems. 3 earth gems, 2 air gems, and a nature gem. Not bad. Okay, Agartha, the Pale Ones. Cavern realm of Pale Ones and Troglodytes. Pale Ones can grow to huge proportions. Oracles and Earthblood Mage Kings rule the Pale Ones. All Pale Ones have perfect night vision. They're like lizard people. Got dark vision, cold-blooded, need not eat. They don't have to eat. Oh, okay. That's pretty handy. Pale One Commander, Troglodyte Lord. Looks kind of spooky. Subterranean beings of great strength. Sometimes they side with the Pale Ones of Agartha. Okay. Ancient Lord. A large lizard-looking dude. They look like humans, but they have lizard abilities. Graver. Old Sage. What's this? Mind Blast. Range 100. Doesn't affect mindless beings. Some kind of psychic creature. And he's a fortune teller. He's got spirit sight. He's blind, but he has spirit sight. Doesn't use eyes to orient itself. So he can see invisible units even though he's blind. Interesting. Oracle. Water. Fire. Death. Earth. Wet One Captain. Shark skin armor. So these guys are what? Amphibious? Look at all these units. So, kill one, militia, warrior, another warrior. What's the difference? One's got a helmet, the other one doesn't. Troglodytes. +3. Stone Spear. That one has armor. Must be the... yeah, the sacred one. Sights. Halls of the Oracles. An Earth Mage may enter to scry, range 6. 3 Earth Gems, 1 Fire Gem. 1 Death Gem. And 1 Water Gem. Okay, Abyssia, Children of Flame. Abyssians are lava-born humanoids that radiate heat. Abyssians mainly use heavy infantry. They have skilled fire and blood mages, and their priests can perform blood sacrifices. Abyssians dislike cold provinces. Abyssia is a hot wasteland at the center of which lies a great volcano whose lava-lit caverns are inhabited by magma-born humanoids. Their flesh radiates heat and they are not harmed by flames. Abyssians are stronger than humans and use very heavy armor and weaponry. Bows are not used as they would burn to cinders in the glowing hands of the Abyssians. The war machine of Abyssia also includes salamanders, lizard-like beings composed of the same hot lava-born flesh as the Abyssians. The Anointed of Ra and the anathemate priests of the Flame Cult practice blood magic to strengthen the power of the Awakening God. The warlocks of the Smolder Cone, a newly formed magical order, practice blood magic and search for suitable blood slaves in conquered lands. Abyssians prefer to live in extremely hot places. They do not farm or hunt for a living, so their income and supplies are not affected by growth or death scale of a province. However, population will still die slowly in Abyssia-controlled provinces with death scales. Okay, race. Radiates heat. Fire resistance prefers heat scale +3. Wasteland survival. Death and growth scales have half the standard effect on income and population growth and no effect on supplies. Extra gold and resources in cave forts. Their military is very heavy infantry, no missile weapons, and salamanders. Their magic is fire, blood, astral, and some earth. Priests are powerful and can perform blood sacrifices. Their scales and blesses heat limit +2, death limit +1, bless points +2. They have standard forts, and their forts reduce heat scale deaths by 2 steps. So their commanders, they got a slayer, it's like an assassin guy with poison daggers. Pretty cool looking. Creature radiates heat. Beast trainer, uninspiring. Got wasteland survival. Warlord. Anatheme salamander. Great communicant, okay. Old age. 40 is old for them. Demon bred. Deep in the Smolder Cone, the warlocks of Abyssia experiment with their brother to create superior beings. Yeah, this guy can fly, and he's an assassin. Assassin of 0. Not a great assassin, but he can be an assassin. Part demon, part Abyssian. They share the strengths and weaknesses of both. Warlock apprentice, he's got blood magic. What's this? Adept crossbreeder. Cause more subjects to survive the crossbreeding ritual, and there will also be an increased chance of getting extraordinary results. This bonus also helps with infernal breeding ritual, but at a reduced level. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. Anointed of rocks. Firepower. If he's in a hot province, he's more powerful. He's got a fire shield. That's cool. So if someone tries to hurt him, he lights them up. It's pretty cool. Units: infantry, battle axe, flail, axe and a shield, morning star and a shield, misbred, battle axes, and they can fly too, which is pretty cool. Part undead demon. So it can only be led by commanders with undead leadership, but it cannot be banished and is not affected by demon and undead slaying spells. That's cool. So yeah. Some of these guys can lead those. Salamander, he's got fire flare. Bite. Burning one, he's got 2 morning stars. Bad formation fighter. Okay, so he can only fit 1 in a square because he's got those. That's cool. Berserker, fire shield. Yeah, he's pretty hot. Smolder Cone, 5 fire gems per turn. Increases heat by a maximum of 5. And another fire gem. 6 fire gems a turn. Pretty strong. Okay, Hinnom, Sons of the Fallen. Hinnom is a wasteland inhabited by several kinds of giants. The Rephite lords rule the lesser giants by fear and force. So Hinnom is a dry wasteland inhabited by giants. At the dawn of time on the sacred Mount Hermon, 6 angels of full celestial splendor descended to aid and instruct the giants of the land. The Yavim were people strong and beautiful of mind and body. They were adept students and their culture flourished under the tutelage of the Gori, the angelic watchers. Before long, the angels became enamored with the Yavim and taught them things that should not be taught. Tempted by the beauty of the Yavim, they took their daughters as wives and sinned before the celestial powers. Their offspring were the Nephilim, giants of godlike power, abominable to the world. The angels were imprisoned in the infernal realm for their sins, but the Nephilim were partly of this world and could not be banished by the celestial powers. The Nephilim made themselves kings over the Yavim, and they fathered sons and became numerous men of fame. The Nephilim and their sons had unnatural appetites against food, livestock, beasts, and finally their own offspring. With time, the Nephilim left Hinnom in search of a purpose and left their sons to rule him. Dang. Okay. So their race were fight giants with enormous appetites, lesser Avit and Horite giants. Some in Kindu prefers heat scale +2. Military. Horite cave dwellers, Kidu slaves, Avite giants, and chariots. Magic is fire, earth, astral blood, some air, nature, and death. Priests are weak, sacred or fight giants, and blood sacrifices. Scales and blesses, heat limit +1. Buildings are giant forts. Let's check them out. Scout, commander, quite a scene, quite a sought. There's priests. Oren Shan, bad researcher. And the fortune teller. Healer. Akka is a healer. That's cool. Oh. Sensor system. Plus attack versus shield. Vowels are the words of David by the Nephilim. Oh, you can gore with his horns. Okay. Population killer. This much population will die from the current province every month. So this guy slaughters people. Fear of the flood. Doesn't eat. Yeah, pretty strong. Melkart. Dawnblade. Some kind of magical sword. Adept Sacrificer. He can perform sacrifices to spread dominion. Blood Searcher. He's good at finding blood slaves. I don't really know much about it. He kills population too. Slaves. Alright, hunters. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at their pictures. Heavy archer, swordsman. Hornblower, Dawn Guard, Sacred. No. What about this guy? Yeah, this guy is Sacred. He's one of those giants. Okay, sights. 2 earth gems, 2 fire gems, 1 astral pearl. 2 blood slaves per turn. Amora. Oh boy. So that's like biblical demons, or angels, or whatever you want to call them. No. Okay, Ubar, Kingdom of the Unseen. Ubar is the kingdom of Junun, hidden in the sands by ancient magic. It is ruled by the Junun, invisible beings sprung from smokeless flame, but most of the population are human slaves. Ubar is sealed and its rulers are imprisoned until their pretender god awakens. Ubar is the kingdom of the Unseen, the Junun of the deserts. Its heart is a paradise hidden beyond 3 deserts of scorching heat, 1 red, 1 white, and 1 as black as the night. Beyond the 3 deserts lies a plateau hidden with the mirages of the Junun. There is but 1 entrance in the cliff side of the plateau, and it is always guarded by invisible sentinels. Once you've passed the entrance, you enter a city covered in sand. This is a realm of 1,000 pillars, home of Junun. Once this was a paradise with date palms, fountains, and palaces in abundance. Towers of brass and marble rose towards the heavens. Fist-sized rubies and diamonds lit the streets and palaces, and the air was filled with music and pleasant fragrances. This was the city of brass, but the lords of Ubar rebelled against the powers that were, and the city was sealed by a divine decree. Afarit, the mightiest of the Janoon, were imprisoned in their palaces with their rebel god. Now Aram is a desert city inhabited by a few jinn and their human slaves, waiting for the gates of brass to open and return to the Ifrit Sultan. So race, jinn and human slaves, reverse heat scale +3. Military, human infantry, camel riders, ghouls, jinn warriors, sacred Ifrit warriors. Weak priests and guardian spirits. Dominion hides province ownership. Scales and blesses heat limit +1, magic limit +2. Standard force and force reduce heat scale deaths by 1 step. Scout, commander, a sheikh. Got a mobile archer skill. Khan, he needs to hear. Cuba. What's this? Man, he's got a lot of abilities. He's vulnerable to salt and iron. Ethereal. Attacks from non-magic weapons have a 75% chance of being effective. Oh boy. You can only be commanded by mages. Okay. Jinn warrior. Pretty tough. Ghouls. He's a demon. Got regeneration. Cool. Okay, he's got a lot of sights. 1 fire, 1 air, 1 death. Glamour, 1 fire, 1 nature, another fire, and a glamour. They have a lot of magical gems. That's pretty crazy. Okay. Okay, that was Ubar. Okay, Ubar. So now the first city. Wait, go back. is a nation of wildmen, Enkidus, led by the priest kings of the first city. So was a warm plain inhabited by Enkidus, large hairy wild men with horns and unkept hair. Once upon a time, all Enkidus lived in the world, frolicking with feral beasts. But when the Enkidus met with the Avim, some Enkidus adopted their ways of life. Now there are 3 Enkidu tribes. The members of the first tribe live pastoral lives and are led by shamans of remarkable power. The second one is a ferocious swamp-dwelling hunter-gatherer society led by headhunters and bone readers. The third tribe are the ones who adopted the Avite way of life with agriculture and metalworking, and it's they who founded Eridu, the first city. In the city, the great temple was built, and the kings of Eridu were inaugurated as priest kings and rulers of the young nation. In the cities of Ur, where metalworking is common, medium and heavy infantry is raised. On the plains and in the swamps of the nation, nomadic Enkindus gather and form quickly levied raiding parties. In the swamps of Ur, near Eridu, an ancient dragonkin known as Meshushas. They are benevolent and powerful beings sacred to the Enkidus. So the races are large, can recruit shamans and light infantry anywhere. Can recruit special units in swamps, first heat scale +1. So military is Enkidu infantry and sacred Meshusu dragons. Their magic is nature, earth, water, air, and some death. Priests are strong, good at recalling a dead god. Recalled god doesn't lose magic skills, sacred Mesusas. Order limit 1, heat limit 1, and their buildings are fortified cities. These are all like giants. Like, I know you can recruit like militia and stuff like that, but yeah. Hululus. Some kind of fish person. They're unable to leave the sea. They do have aquatic units, which is cool. Kudu. Mishushu. It's a wingless dragon of the swamps of Earth. It's got venomous fangs. A lot of units. A lot of different units. They're probably just different gear. 2 water, 1 earth. Those units. 3 nature. Okay. Kailasa is a realm of intelligent apes ruled by Yakshas and Yavanas, divine beings living on the sacred mountains of Kailasa. In the sacred mountain of Kailasa, beings from an earlier era still linger. They are blessed with mystical powers but are few in number. With the emergence of the new god, they have mustered aid from a most unexpected source.
Deep in the forest below the sacred mountain, apes of uncanny brightness have evolved. The apes are uncivilized and have only recently mastered the mysteries of metalworking. Okay, yakshas and apes prefer feat skill 2, a multitude of missile weapons and light infantry. Water, earth, astral, glamour, and nature. Priests are weak. Scales, blesses, hate limit 1, magic limit 1, and standard force. Yeah, they're monkey people. Monkey, gorilla, Tsukuyaka. Semi-divine beings gifted with celestial splendor that strikes lowly beings with awe. Okay. They have bred the monkey people and led them into servitude. Okay. Monkeys of all shapes and sizes. Okay. Mount Kalisa. 2 earth gems. 1 nature gem. 2 astral pearls. And a glamour gem. Okay. Lanka is a realm of intelligent apes ruled by Rakshasas, demon ogres skilled in dark sorcery and necromancy. The evil monkeys. On the dark and densely forested island of Lanka, Rakshasas, demon ogres from an early era, still linger. Gifted with tremendous strength, they once fought the Devatas of Kailasa, but since the most powerful of the Rakshasas have left this world for the Netherrealms, the remaining Rakshasas have captured and enslaved the monkey people of Kailasa and made them serve as warriors, hunters, or food. The Rakshasas had no use for the peaceful white ones in Kalamukalas. Rakshasa half-breeds made the monkey people of Lanka. Since the enslavement of the apes, the ancient conflict between the Devatas of Kailasa and the Rakshasas of Lanka have been renewed. Rakshasas have an affinity for blood magic, and in times of strife they are drawn to the blood of innocents. Okay, so demon ogres, apes, and undead prefer heat skill 2, strong Rakshasa infantry, miscellaneous and light infantry, reanimated apes. Air, blood, death, glamour, nature, medium priests, national priests can reanimate the dead. Blood hunts give more blood slaves in turmoil and less in order. Turmoil limit 1, heat limit 1. Build standard force. So again, more monkeys, gorillas, Rakshasharja. It's a monstrous ogre with legs and heads of a bull and a massive ape-like body. Sorry. 3 death gem, 1 air gem, 2 nature gem. Okay, Jen Chi is next. Hang on a second, I'm gonna take a drink here. Okay. Jianxi is an emerging empire. Masters of the 5 elements and celestial masters are versatile mages. Nobles partake personally in battles, and their chariots form an important part of the army. Sacred celestial beings and the sacred warriors of the 5 elements form the elite core of the army. The celestial empire has not yet been founded. The magic of the way permeates the realm, and reclusive mages conjure celestial beings to do their bidding. Nobles wage war upon each other for honor and glory. Few chosen warriors and mages dedicate their lives to training in the way of the 5 elements. The deceased are worshipped, and the village priests conjure the dead to ask for guidance and aid. It is a time of legends. Race humans. Military, versatile and well equipped with large shields and iron armaments. Noble chariots. Water, astral, air, fire, nature, glamour, earth, and some death summon celestial beings. Priests are average. They have standard force. Scout, just looks like your basic scout. Chariot commander. Student of the sword. Okay. Student of the way, master of the 5 elements, celestial master, master of the sword, master of the way. Footman with a spear, glaive, footman, archer, heavy footman, medium footman, horseman, noble, warrior of the 5 elements. Strength of the spring. Oh, I guess reduced HP and fall. Weird. So he's like some kind of magical dude. Sights. Bamboo grove. There's those. 2 astral pearls, 1 fire, 2 water, and 1 death gem in return. So these guys are like, they're Chinese. Like ancient China. Yomi, yeah, this is the Japanese one, I think. Yomi is a nation of Oni and their servants. Oni are demons of the mountain wilderness. They are magically powerful and almost immortal, but few in number and rather stupid. Yomi is a land of inhospitable mountains, steaming, sulfuric pools, and sudden volcanic eruptions. At the center of this unforgiving land lies a great cone-shaped mountain at the top, which is an entrance to the netherworld. From this gate, the Oni have come, one by one or in small groups. Oni are demons of the wild, ugly, pot-bellied, and mischievous. They are ruled by Oni kings who occasionally emerge from the netherworld and to wreak havoc on the land and the living. Oni are almost immortal and must be killed in spirit as well as body if they are to stay dead. They are worshipped by human priests who build profane temple gates through which even more Oni can enter the land. So they're demons. Reduced income, have the income effects of heat and cold scales, extra gold and resources in cave forts. Military is semi-immortal, Oni, Bakemono, and human servants. Light infantry, medium infantry, no sacred troops. Death, fire, earth, some air, and nature. Powerful mages, bad at research, some national summons. Weak priests, provinces with temples, spawn Oni. Turmoil limit +1 for scales of blessings. Primitive forts and temples cost 300. That's what we got. Bandit leader, Bakemono chief, demon priest, Nemanari, sorcerer, demon general, Oni Shugo, and Dai Oni. Throw flames, javelin, heavy samurai armor, Oni summoner. Ko-Oni per month. Oni will come if there is unrest or turmoil scale in the province. Yeah. Chaos power. Okay. Just regular dudes and bandits. Mountain of Oni candles. 3 death, 1 fire, 1 earth, 1 air. Cool. Okay, Kalem, the Eagle Kings. Kalem is a union of 3 tribes of winged beings that live high on the mountaintops. One tribe is fully immune to cold, and another tribe is cold and lightning resistant. All mages of Kalem are skilled in herb magic, and some also have skill in water and death. All of Kalem dislikes warm lands. Oh wow. Okay, Kalem is a Magrakosi of winged humanoids who inhabit the highest mountain peaks. They are the offspring of the Azatas, semi-divine beings of an earlier age. 3 tribes served the Azatas in ancient times, the Kabi, Aryas, and the Marias. Some are led astray by the wicked Manus and Devas. With the corruption of the purifying flame, the Devas as well as the Azatas were banished from this world. With the disappearance of the Azatas, the 3 tribes were dispersed and fled their homelands. But when some Azatas emerged from hiding, the 3 tribes gathered and settled in the high mountain range where the last people came to reside. Former tribes are now known as the Tempest Clan of Spire Horn Mountain, the Rapture Clan of Raven's Veil, and the Arias of High Kalem. The Spire Horn Kalians are partially resistant to cold and lightning. The Raptorians are stronger and attuned to the earth, and lack the elemental resistance characteristics of the lands. The area once lived in the land of the White Forest, where winter lasts for 10 months. They still live in the coldest mountain peaks and are unaffected by low temperatures. The priestesses try to purify the taint of the Devas and are keepers of the sacred flame of the White Forest. The area seraphs craft magical ice that many of the Kalians use instead of regular metal. Ice temperatures with lower temperatures and the heavy ice armor is more durable in cold climates than in warmer ones. All weapons crafted from ice are magical and capable of harming magical beings. Kalians are skilled archers and prefer hit-and-run tactics, even though they do have some heavy troops such as huge bandits. Okay, they're flying, partially cold resistant, partially shock resistant, and cold skill 2. They have flying units, skilled archers, and bandits. They have air, sun, water, earth, death, and fire magic. Average peace and guardian skills. Scale is cold limit +1 and standard force. Yeah, scout, Sistar, firehorn. It's all like flying units. Different weapons and stuff like that. Let's check out these mammoths. Mammoth archer. There's 2 archers on there. Burn the troops as well as enemies are knocked over and trampled during the rout of the mammoth. Cool. What's this? Arya Temple Guard. Ice. They have ice armor. Okay. Palace of the Eagle Kings. 3 air gems, 1 water gem. Another air gem, 4 air gems, and an earth gem. Okay, Kalem. Okay, Mictlan, Reign of Blood. Mictlan is an old kingdom ruled by priest kings. Their god hungers and must be sated with blood sacrifice. Mictlan has powerful blood mages and priests, but his infantry uses archaic weapons. Mictlan... Oh, these must be like Aztecs. Mictlan is an ancient tribal empire that's been isolated for centuries. The foul practices of the priest kings of Mictlan have caused most of their neighbors to leave or face slavery and blood sacrifice. Since the dawn of the kingdom, blood has been spilled in the temples of the capital to feed the waning powers of the hungry god. The armies are mainly composed of slaves from newly conquered lands. The mage priests of Mictlan celebrate the two faces and the two dominions of the hungry god, namely the sun and moon, the rain and forest. They are all skilled blood mages. So they are humans that prefer heat scale 1. They have light infantry with slings and javelins. Tribal kings can levy slaves, sacred jaguar, and eagle warriors. They have blood, fire, astral, nature, and water magic. Their priests are powerful and can perform blood sacrifices. Dominion does not spread unless blood is sacrificed. Interesting. So they got a turmoil limit 1, heat limit 1, and blessed points plus 3. Interesting. So they have primitive fortified cities. So yeah, these are like Aztec guys. Let's check out these eagle warriors. Can they fly? No, they just wear it doesn't say they can fly, so. Temple of the Land, 1 nature gem, 1 water gem, 1 astral pearl, 3 blood slaves, and 2 fire gems. They get a lot of gems. They're pretty good with magic. Zabalba, Vigil of the Sun, cave-dwelling bat people that once guided the sun on its nighttime passage through their caves. Zabalba is a vast realm of dark caverns beneath the forest of Mictlan. According to legend, the sun and the moon passed through the labyrinthine caverns on their daily journey to the eastern horizon. On this journey, they were guarded by the bat people, Zats, that dwelled in the dark reaches of the Zabalba underworld. Being almost blind, they would not see and not covet the splendor of the sun. No one has seen the sun or moon pass through Zabalba for ages, but the Zats keep their vigil and their traditions alive. But lately, the bat people have lost purpose, and the priestly rulers of Zabalba look to the serpent's world to once more bask in the splendor of the sun and the moon. The Zats are led by priest kings from various cities, and only the priesthood represents centralized power. They still train the sacred sun guides once tasked with guarding the celestial entities through the dark world of Zabalba. The Zats have contact with surface dwellers, primarily those of Mictlan, and have adopted some of their technology and practices. The Zats have an affinity for blood, hunting, and black magic. Despite being guides of the sun, their skill in solar magic is limited. The Zats are numerous and live in great swarming cave colonies. Numbers rather than strength allows them to win their battles. So, swarms of cheap, flying, stealthy cave dwellers prefers heat scale 1, extra gold and resources and cave quartz. Their military: flying, stealthy, light infantry, and scorpions. Magic is death, blood, earth, fire, some air, and nature. Priests are average and can perform blood sacrifices. Scales are sloth 1 and heat 1. They have standard force. So all their units fly, except for those scorpions, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Scorpion tamers. Monakwi. Human torso, legs and paws of a jaguar, and the head and wings of a bat. Feeds on human hearts and gruesome appetites cause unrest and disquiet. Chance of summoning 1 or more monsters per month when it's in a friendly dominion. That's interesting. Large scorpion, giant scorpion, bulb, and scorpion. Okay, Cavern of the Sun, 3 fire gems, 1 earth gem, and 2 death gems. So they have a relationship with this group, Sick Clan. Okay, Satis, yeah, that the what was it, Urmor conquered Satis. So Satis is an ancient kingdom of lizardmen. They do not use cavalry or archers, but use chariots and javelins instead. Satis has powerful death mages and powerful lizard king priests. The lizards dislike cold provinces. So Satis is a swampy river valley surrounded by sandy deserts. In the fertile valley, a sacred kingdom of the lizard-like humanoids has formed. The kingdom is ancient by human standards, and its wisdom and knowledge, magical knowledge is great. At the top of society is the lizard king and his royal heirs. The king is the highest priest of Satis. Under the king are the high priests with their sacred serpents and their enigmatic sauromancers, great mages of death and rebirth. The lizards are herbivores, but have enslaved the race of carnivorous lizardmen who serve as soldiers and workers. Cetaceans are somewhat slow in movement, but have thick hides that protect them from cuts and bruises. Both lizard races are cold-blooded and become exhausted very quickly when fighting in cold provinces. They have partial resistance to poison. The inhabitants of Cetis prefer to live in warm provinces, so they have thick hides, they're cold-blooded, with poison resistance, prefer heat scale 2. They have chariots, infantry, slave warriors, and sacred serpents. They have death, nature, some water, and astral magic. They have powerful priests, whose scale is order 1 and heat 1, and they have built standard forts, so... yeah, lizards of different kinds, that's pretty cool. Lizards riding a lizard. Runner. Slave warriors. Yeah, Temple City, so 4 death gems and 2 nature gems. Machaka, the Lion Kings, a human kingdom ruled by a royal family of great men. Machaka uses many different animals for warfare and has light to medium infantry as well as archers. Priests and witch doctors from various clans give Machaka a wide range of magical skills. Machakans dislike cold lands. Okay, Machaka is an old sacred kingdom divided into totemic clans. The clans follow their totemic spirits and worship them as bringers of civilization and tell myths about their interaction with men. For centuries, the Lion Clan has dominated the others and formed a unified kingdom under their wise rule. The Lion Clan is best by lion, and they are superior to other men. The great men of Zimbabwe, called Colossi by archocephalian historians, have ruled the plains since Hyena was coerced to teach metalworking to men, and Rhino was defeated by spears longer than his. From Great Zimbabwe, the semi-divine Colossi of the Lion Clan rule their lesser kin as sacred kings and queens. There are many totemic clans, but some have been more influential. Hyena, Rhino, Elephant, and Spider all serve Lion with their totemic master skill and guidance. The recent conflict with Baratos and other nations has seen the rise of ambition among the Colossi royalty, and the Lion Kings are preparing for the awakening of the Lion. Okay, I need another drink. Be right back. Okay. So there are humans and colossi. First heat skill 2. They have infantry, poison archers, spider riders, war lions, and elephants. They have fire, earth, death, nature, and glamour magic. Priests are average, and heat and +1. They have standard forts. These are leaders from the different clans. Lion King, Lion Queen. Pygmy. What's a pygmy? In the deep woods of Machaka lives a people of short men. They are weak but somewhat useful as archers. Interesting. They have forest survival. Look at these spider riders. The giant spiders from the depths of the Machaka forest are trained by witch doctors and spider riders. Armed with bows and spears, they can throw webs to entangle distant enemies. Web spit. It's stupid. Okay. It'll continue to fight if the rider is killed. Okay. Elephant rider. Force of the spider, 1 nature, 1 death, 1 glamour. 2 earth, and 1 fire gem. Machaka. Okay. Baratos, the Phoenix Empire. Baratos is a nation of sailors and tradesmen who have founded dozens of colonies. Since the founding of a colony near Ashdod and Enam, they become influenced by the blood cult of the Melkarts. Have we covered Melkarts yet? No, I don't see them anywhere. Alright, let's check these out. I'm gonna take a drink first. Okay, the people of Baratos are the descendants of a civilization created by the Telkines, titanic storm demons, defeated by a previous Pantokrator. Telkines taught shipbuilding, sailing, and metalcraft to the human ancestors of Baratos. When the Telkines were defeated, the humans fled across the sea, led by the Stormcallers, disciples of the Telkines. With the knowledge of ironcrafting and the magical night of the Stormcallers, new colonies were founded on distant shores. Like a phoenix, the dying empire was reborn. The Telkine gods were dead and the humans sought divine leadership. They found the Melkarts of Hinnom. One of the colonies was situated near Ashdod, and the bloody cult of Melkart soon spread through the Phoenix Empire. In the capital colony of Baratos, a great temple to the Melkarts was built, and soon another power found its way into the cult. Refugee Colossi, great men of the Machakan royal family, arrived in Baratos and established themselves as rulers of the bloody cult. The sorceresses claimed divinity and called themselves brides in waiting. Now Baratos is a seafaring people led by sorcerer queens in the great temple of Baratos. So their ocean sailing, trace income across oceans, income bonuses in coastal castles, can recruit special mages in coastal castles. Prefers heat scale 1. They have archers, light and medium infantry, lancers, and elephants. They have blood, fire, air, water, earth, and some astral magic. They have strong priests, and can perform blood sacrifices. Their heat scale is 1, and they have advanced forts. So yeah. Bride in waiting. Okay. Excuse me, got a golden spear. Militia, archer, spearman, soldier. Heavy spearman, heavy soldier, elephant rider. Colossi warrior. Refugee of the Lion Queens. Temple of the Storm and Flames. They got 2 blood slaves, 2 fire gems, and 3 air gems a turn. Okay, Vanheim, Age of Vanir. Vanheim is a nation ruled by Vanir, ancient enemies of the Jotun giants. Vanir can sail across the oceans and hide themselves with illusions. They mostly use infantry and sacred berserkers, who dwarven smiths are powerful earth mages. The Vanheim is a land of misty moors and bitter forests inhabited by tall and unique magic race hunts of Vanir. The Vanir are mortal enemies of the giants of Jotunheim, and since the beginning of time they have waged a great war upon each other. They are masters of illusion and are able to trick mortals with their glamour. In halls under the mountains of Vanheim live dwarves, smiths capable of crafting fabulous items. Vanheim is a land of magic, and even the horses are enchanted and exceptionally fast. Vanir are skilled shipwrights and navigators and can sail the oceans. Lesser beings are not held in high regard, and their blood is sacrificed to Satan, the awakening god. They have ocean sailing, trace income across oceans, illusions, and prefer cold scale 1. Their military is Vanir. They have air, glamour, earth, blood, some fire, and death magic. Average pieces that can perform blood sacrifices. Their scales are cold limit 1 and magic limit 1. And they have standard fields. Yeah, their horses are magical. Serfs, Huskarls, herdmen, dwarves. This unit produces supplies, so you can put them in your army and let someone be your allies. They're slain each evening to feed the soldiers, but at dawn they are again alive and well, ready to march on the enemies. Oh, that's cool. Immortal boars. So Valhalla, 2 air gems, 1 glamour gem, and 3 earth gems. Very cool. So they can make some good stuff. Yeah, that's Vanheim. Now Helheim. Dusk and Death. Helheim is a nation of Vanir ruled by hanged kings guarding the entrance to Hell. Vanir can hide themselves with illusions. They utilize many unique troops, including flying Valkyries. Yeah, I've fought these people before. The Hangadrots are powerful death and air mages, and Svoltar smiths are skilled in earth and death magic, so click on there. Helheim is a land of shadows, windswept moors, and silent mountains. Here lies Nippeland, the stone cave, where the dead priests pass through on their way to hell. The Hanged Kings, ancient Vanir who have hanged themselves to learn the secrets of death, rule the land from their thrones in Helhala. Helheim is inhabited by Vanir, a race of tall and innately magical beings who are able to trick mortals with their glamour. The Vanir of Helheim have sequestered themselves from the Vanir of Vanheim and have not been part of the great war with the giants. For ages they have been guiding the dead on their way to hell in service of a dead god. Now a new god is arising and the old ways are changing. The Valkyries, guides of the dead, have become messengers of death and sacred warriors of the new god. Valkyries, the female Vanir of Helheim, are able to fly, a gift from the dead god they once served. Unlike their cousins in Vanheim, the Vanir of Helheim are not shipwrights and sailors. Okay, so they have flying troops, illusions, and prefer gold scale 1. They have Vanir heavy infantry, Valkyries, and Vanir cavalry. They They have death, glamour, air, earth, and some fire magic. They are average priests. Their scales are cold, death, and magic limit +1. They have standard forts. Just gotta check my phone. Okay. So let's see. You got not some regular looking dudes. There's the dwarfs. They don't have the ability to craft. They have research. Yeah, they're not like typical dwarfs. And yeah, so where are they? Yeah, Valkyries. Valkyries are pretty scary. So Valkyries can fly. They're sacred. They're stealthy, and they have glamour. And when they go into battle, they double image, so they're really hard to hit. Okay, and then Valhalla got 1 glamour gem per turn, 4 death gems, and 1 earth gem. Okay, so now Rus, Sons of Heaven. Rus is a kingdom of the frozen land. It is a nation of humans and mighty chads, divided into 2 moieties. Rus is a land of harsh winters and short summers inhabited by humans and Chuds, an exalted race of great strength and beauty. The Chuds and the humans have intermingled, and neither race dominate the other. The Russian society is divided into 2 moieties. The first is composed of hunters and nomads living in the deep forests. They worship the bear and the thunder and eat their meat raw. The warriors of the wild moiety are known for their fury and battle prowess. Their most prominent warriors are even able to take the shape of the sacred bear. The other moiety lives in the houses of wood and in caves underneath the ground. They cook their meat and practice a new kind of magic. The Chuds of the second moiety call themselves sons and daughters of gods previously unheard of. Most of the Russian armies are composed of human infantry, but the elites of the kingdom are mighty Chuds. Yet the humans also field mighty warriors. The axe-wielding bear warriors are respected and feared even by the warriors of Ulm. People of Rus prefer a cold climate, so they're human and Chuds. All Russian peoples have partial cold resistance and prefer cold scale too. Human infantry, hunters, berserkers. Chud warriors, sacred Chud skin shifters. They have air, nature, fire, some earth, and astral magic. Summonal beings of Rus. Medium but expensive priests and few. Their scale is cold limit 1. They have primitive forts and their temples cost 300. Chieftains, wizard, thunder priest. Okay. Chewed skin shifter, yeah. What is this? Feast upon bear hearts and incorporate the sacred bear spirit into their bodies. They have recuperation. They're berserk and they have recuperation. That's pretty cool. Okay. All dawn, 1 air, 1 fire, 1 nature, 1 astral, 1 air, and another nature. Okay, Niflheim, Sons of Winter. Niflheim is a frozen realm in the home of the Nifl giants, descended from the Rimtursar. Giants are immune to cold and dislike hot lands. Their mages are versatile and powerful sorcerers. In Niflheim, the land of the eternal frost, was once the home of the frost giants. The Rimtursar, primordial giants of godlike powers, were the undisputed rulers of the world until a god of thunder hunted and slew them. The giants of Jotunheim are the descendants of the Rimtursar. From the cold glaciers in Niflheim, frost giants have emerged anew. These Nifl giants are not nearly as powerful as their ancestors, but they are stronger by far than the giants of later ages. Giants are immensely strong and resilient, and the Jotuns are even stronger and tougher than the other races. They are almost impervious to the cold of winter, but thunder and lightning still recognize their old quarry in the giants of the land, greatly fear the wielders of lightning bolts. Niflheim is ruled by several jarls who rarely join forces. Gigjuz, old and wicked hags, serve the Nifls with sorcerous advice. The people of Niflheim prefer to live in a very cold province. So they have cold resistance, prefer cold scale +3. They have Nifl giants, giant infantry, and skin shifters. They have water, blood, death, glamour, natural, and astral magic. They have average priests. They have a scale of cold limit +2. And giant forts, and forts reduce cold scale deaths by 2 steps. So here's all their units. These guys are pretty cool. Ice protection, cold power, chill. Surrounded by unnatural cold. terrain restrictions. They can't go anywhere cold. Just says terrain restriction. I'm not sure what that means. So Niflheim. 4 water gems, 2 jet gems. Recruitment limit plus 999. Okay, I'm not really sure what that's all about. Okay, Muspelheim, Sons of Fire. Muspelheim is a valley of fire and ash surrounded by frozen lands. It is the home of the Muspel Giants, sprung from primordial fires. The Muspel Giants are impervious to fire and radiate heat, but the giants of the surrounding lands, which comprise most of the population, are cold resistant and dislike hot lands. That's kind of weird. So far away in the frozen lands of the Jotuns lies a vast valley of fire and ash. Ash. This is Muspelheim, a gloomy land lit by streams of lava. The acrid air is thick with soot and glowing embers, and the skies, dark and covered in clouds of smoke and sulfur. From the fires of Muspelheim, primordial giants once emerged, and now their descendants make the Valley of Fire and Ash their home. The Muspel giants have allied themselves with Jotuns of the surrounding lands, and most of the population is of Jotun stock. But the ashen fields of the Muspelheim descendants of the first fire giants still live. The Jotuns in general prefer cold climates, but the Jotuns of the Muspelheim are resistant to fire and do not suffer from extreme heat of their ancestral home. Okay. So cold resistant prefers cold scale 2. Home province prefers heat scale 3. Fire resistant giants in home province. Okay. Muspel giants and giant infantry. They have fire, air, death, glamour, astral blood, and nature magic. Average priests. A cold limit scale of 1. Giant forts. Capital reduces heat scale deaths by 2 steps, and other forts reduce cold scale deaths by 1 step. Interesting. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. You just got different equipment, right? 1 fire gem, 1 air gem. 2 fire gems, 1 death gem increases heat by a maximum of 7. And 1 the Meltwater Gorge, the water gem. Okay, Pelagia, Pearl Kings. Pelagia is an underwater realm of Tritons and Mermen. Tritons are unable to leave the sea, but Mermen can shed their tails and walk on dry land. Both races have mages, but only the Merman mages can leave the sea. So Pelagia was the first kingdom to form in the deeps. It is a nation of Tritons, humanoid beings with fin-like legs. The Tritons of the Coral Clan and the Pearl Clan have formed a kingdom and allied themselves with Mermen. Under the wise rule of the ancient Pearl Kings, they dominate the oceans and harvest their riches. Pearls, corals, kelp silk, and purple dyes are traded at coastal markets in Baratos, and before that in Therados. But recently other races have begun stirring in the deeps and new powers are forming. The wild beings of kelp forests have spread, strange beings have emerged from the deepest of seas, and the ghosts of ancient Therados are stirring. Pearl Kings muster their forces, and the Tritons of the Turtle and Shark Tribes have joined forces with the Triton Kingdom. Tritons are unable to leave the sea, but Mermen can shed their tails and walk on dry land to trade or wage war. The extensive trade with Baratos has given Pelagia a much-needed ally. In the few coastal cities Pelagia has built, Baratian infantry have helped in their defense. Over time, Mermen have adopted Baratian and Therodian culture and tactics. Now there are few Baratian soldiers left in the cities, and the Pelagia fields its own Merman infantry. Both Tritons and Mermen have mages, but only the Merman mages can leave the sea. So, they're an underwater race. They have aquatic Tritons and amphibious Mermen, light infantry, medium infantry, sacred and aquatic infantry. They have water, astral nature, some earth, and some air and earth. Mages weaker on dry land, and mages can convert water gems into astral pearls. Cool. Priests are powerful, weak on dry land. They have scale ornament +1, and they have standard influence. So yeah, check this out. So, like some of them have like 1 fin, some of them have 2 fins. Shore commander. So yeah, they got Pelagians. So they're mostly underwater, but they do have land-based units. They are able to enter the sea. They cannot use their javelins in the water. Palace of Pearls. Real water comes two major gems. Okay, Oceania, coming of the Capricorns. Oceania is a realm of the underwater wild, with clashing tides of the shores. The half-man inhabitants can remove their tails to raid and settle on dry land. The Capricorn is a powerful mage of the underwater wild in transition. Its power changes when it leaves the sea. Sirens can take bird shape and lure enemies into the sea. Haliades, ancient sea nymphs, who serves as priestesses of the underwater wild. Oh, excuse me. Okay, everything, oh man, has a correspondence underwater. Just like kingdoms formed on dry land, so do kingdoms form in the sea. And just like the wild rebelled against encroaching civilization, so did the first Triton kingdom suffer the wrath of the underwater wilds. Oceania is an underwater realm of wild half-man, animals, and guardians of the kelp forests. But Oceania is also a realm of the shores, where the stormy seas meet stable land. It is a nation of borders and transition, change and adaptability. Most of its inhabitants have the ability to change their shapes and cross the boundaries of the sea. Sirens, Capricorns, and Ichthysators, yep, whatever, all shared the ability and affinity for change and adaptability. Sirens use it to change their shape and lure the unwary to a watery grave. Capricorns and Ichthysators use it to raid and spread turmoil and chaos in coastal provinces. With the coming of the awakening god, the Capricorns lead the half-men in conquest above as well as beneath the waves. The dominion of the god of Oceania increases turmoil in coastal provinces. So another underwater race. We have amphibious half-men, light infantry, medium infantry, sacred and aphrodite centaurs. Water, nature, water, glamour, submerged in air magic, mages weaker on dry land. Priests are powerful, underwater only. Dominion is +2 turmoil in coastal provinces, +1 order in other provinces. Scales, turmoil limit 1, growth limit 1. They have primitive forts and temples cost 300. Centaur. The centaurs with fish tails instead of hind legs. Okay, interesting. Grove of Aphros. 4 nature, 1 water, 1 glamour. Okay. And then Therados, Telkine Spectre. Therados is the shattered remnant of the Telkine kingdom cast beneath the sea by divine powers. Most inhabitants of the kingdom were killed and are now ghosts that are still unaware of their undead state of existence. Some dactyloid master smiths survived the wrath of the gods and still rule the kingdom. So Therados was once a kingdom of sages and craftsmen ruled by the Telkines, sea daimons of almost godlike powers. When the Telkines made themselves god kings and threatened the divine order, their entire kingdom was drowned and cast under the waves. The people of the old kingdom suffered the full wrath of the divine judgment, and unaware ghosts became ghosts inhabiting the ruins of a sunken kingdom. Of the Telkine kingdom, only a few islands remain, inhabited by survivors of the cataclysm. On these islands, the living serve the unaware dead out of fear and respect. On the islands of the shattered kingdom also live the dactyloi, dwarven smiths and servants of the Telkines. With the death of the Telkines and the dactyloi replaced them and became revered by the Therodian ghosts. The dactyloi and their Hecateride sisters bring life to the remains of the ancient kingdom and prevent the total destruction of their home. Now Therados is a drowned kingdom of ghosts and human islanders ruled by dactyloi master smiths. So race, ghosts, Kurets, and humans. Ghosts do not need supplies, can enter sea. Kurets can enter sea. Pretty small faction. Spectral hoplites and infantry. Kurets and human sacred war dancers. Nature, water, earth, air, and some fire and death. Dactyloi are skilled mage smiths. Average priests can incite fury and sacred war dancers. Dominion. Kills population, summons spectral troops. Death scales increase the number of ghosts summoned. Dominions kill population before to prevent the death of the entire population. Death limit magic and advanced foods. So. War dancers, sacred war dancers are human guardian. Bad formation fighters. They take up more space on the battlefield than ordinary troops. Okay, sight. Telekinesis. You got 3 earth, 1 air, 1 water, 1 death. Okay. So, I've gone through all the early age nations. Oh wait, there's more. There's more. Look, there's more. Okay, Therados. I just did that one. I just did Therados. Atlantis, emergence of the deep ones. Atlantis is an underwater nation of amphibious beings. They do not use missile troops. They have powerful earth and water mages and powerful priests. Okay, for centuries the seas have been the domains of the Tritons, but recently a nation of beings resembling a cross between fish, frog, and human has emerged in the deepest gorges of the ocean. The race is not entirely unknown, for there are a few of them who have made shallow coastal reefs their home, but the Triton kings never imagined they were numerous and powerful enough to form a nation. These Atlanteans of the deeps never stop growing and will live for several hundred years unless killed. The Atlantean society is organized in a strict hierarchy of size and age. The oldest and most cunning Atlanteans have made themselves kings and queens of the basalt city in the deepest reaches of the ocean. The Atlanteans of the deep use weapons of enchanted basalt made by basalt kings. They're amphibious, they have light infantry, shamblers, no mixed weapons, like earth, water, fire, and some after magic, powerful priests, and advanced warriors. Basalt kings. Deep ones, shamblers. Yeah. Basalt City, 3 earth, 1 fire. And 2 water. Okay, and then R'lyeh, Time of the Abyss. R'lyeh is an underwater nation. An ancient race of mentally superior beings has enslaved other races to work for them. R'lyeh has Atlantean and Oceanian troops, as well as their own Abyss. The Abyss are powerful astral and water mages. In the deepest of the oceans lived a strange fish-like race called the Abyss. These beings are highly intelligent, and the older Abyss, called Mind Lords, can enslave lesser beings by force of mind alone. Having this power means they have enslaved mermen and deep ones to do the daily work and to fill up the ranks of their armies. In a deep gorge, the enslaved workers have built a score of small but magnificent cities for their rulers. In this gorge lived the greatest of the Aboleths. Okay, they're underwater, Atlantean and Oceanian slaves with Aboleths. Astral water, some death, earth glamour, and nature magic. They have average priests, magic limit +1, and standard rules. Aboleth. Yeah, look at this thing. Ancient beings sprung from the depths of the ocean. They resemble huge, mud-crawling fish with tentacles and large, dark eyes covering their foreheads. Grand layer. It's just some sort of large thing. Okay. Gorge of the ancient cities. 3 astral pearls, 2 water gems, 1 earth gem. Okay, so that's it for all the early age nations. I'm not going to cover any more. It's been over 3 hours since I started this stream. Yeah, so some people have come to check it out a bit, but they probably find this part not that interesting. But I find it interesting, so that's why I did it. Once I get around to covering the other ages, I'll do the same thing until we're done all of them. So for now, I'm done with this. I'm going to pick my faction, which is going to be Ulm. We're going to go up against a random faction. Okay, so that's my faction. Oh god, now this. So, yeah. Now I gotta pick my god. So, I'm not going to get into too much detail. Let's just take a look. There's like, these ones are all statues. They don't move. These ones are like large beings, so like giants and stuff like that. So like, I did this, the Titan of the Forge. It says reduced by 20 points for this nation. Some of the gods are cheaper for certain nations. So like I could pick this one if I want, but this one's cheaper, right? Same with these. Dog of the Underworld. Ormir. I think that's a stone snake. So I'll do this one again because this is what I did. But yeah, all of these are gods, right? Some of them are small, so they can be taken out pretty easily. Others are big, so they're actually pretty strong. Earth Serpent. Yeah, protection of 20. Earth Serpent is a really good choice because the protection prevents it from taking damage. Plus it's got regeneration, right? Can't research, can't smith. Not very well. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this guy, the Titan of the Forge. He's limp, he's slow. So don't put him into combat, but he is a master smith. He also increases the strength of your dominion. So I'm going to pick him. Now we're going to pick magic. So, let's try Bless Effect. So he's got fire and earth magic. So we can pick fire and earth blesses. max skill. Righteous Fury. Oh, if another sacred unit is killed. Okay. It's unbreakable. Oh. Okay, let's do that. Unbreakable. So they're less likely to get afflictions, which is pretty cool. Dominion. Like he boosts this up by 1. So this is from the god. This is from our faction. So I don't really change these that much. And you got points here too, right? So he's awake, but you can get more points if you want to wait. So dormant god will awake in years' time, give or take a few months, or break free in 3 years' time, give or take half a year. So if you want them awake right away, they have the fewest points, but if you want to wait, you can give them more points. Custom priest spells. Okay, I can put more stuff in. What's this? Order. Most people are friendly, tend to share the same views. Productivity. So let's do this. Okay. Alright, so yeah. Like, we could go into more detail of this, but, like, I don't want to right now. You have 3 bless points left to spend. Are you ready? Yep. We're gonna name... We'll stick with that. Hephaestos. All praise Hephaestos. Okay, so now we can pick the game world settings. Okay, so this is all default. Independents are the neutral factions that occupy most of the territories in the game. Special site frequency, resource multipliers, random events are rare. I'll make them... use rare events for fast games. I'll do common. Story events. I'll turn story events on. Score graphs off. Okay. Diplomacy is binding. Random start research, okay. And thrones. Okay, so this is the... So you can conquer all, or you can conquer thrones of ascension. I need 3 points. I'm going to put 9 thrones. So I only need 3 of the 9 thrones to win. So I might lose, but I don't really care. Thrones of Ascension is a little more interesting than Conquer All because it encourages you to like, go out and spread around instead of just doing a conquest. So yeah, let's go. We finally arrived. We don't know who you are, so yeah, 3 hours of reading, very nice. Let's put these headphones back on. In the beginning, there was chaos. Out of the chaos rose worlds populated with multitudes of beings. Wars were fought, kings and emperors rose and fell, and civilizations were built and crumbled as millennia passed. Gods, dark and strange, were worshipped in pagan temples. Still there was chaos. The gods fought amongst themselves, bringing even greater ruin to those who would serve them. At least there was one, a being of great power and enlightenment, who rose above his immortal peers and cast them out of the heavens into oblivion. With chaos came order, and with order came peace, and the creatures of all the worlds flourished. The age of chaos had ended. Now the wheel has turned once again. The supreme god has suddenly disappeared. Prayers are left unanswered and the smoke of offerings rise in vain to the heavens. No one knows why he disappeared, but it is certain that the people of the worlds are once again left without direction, without guidance, principle, without order. Now, excuse me, is the time for beings of great power and ambition to try their strength. The throne of the heavens stand empty, and only the strongest can rise to supremacy over all. Only the most powerful can ascend and take the place of he who came before. This is the time of great strife and suffering. This is a time of magic unequaled. This is the Ascension Wars. Look, we're right on the edge. Okay, so first thing I'm going to tell you is to move the map, you use the arrow keys. So I'm going to tell you about that secret shortcut again. It's called Shift ? All the shortcuts. So yeah, don't use the letters to move the map. You're going to open up windows if you do that. And hit escape to close the window. Okay, so here we are, right on the edge of the map. So you think, okay, what do we do, right? Well, first thing I'm going to do, left click on this. This is our general. Right click. Wait, no, click on defend. So first off, become a prophet. Now that he's a prophet, he's a priest. And he'll spread our word. So this is his order for the turn end. This is the scout. So let's send him out. Left click, right click. You see it says sneak. Like, you can have him do something else. Okay, so set battle. So this right here, army setup T. Tell him to retreat. If he ends up finding an army and gets attacked, you want him to run away. So all the armies that are in a province will overlap each other. But like, this is just a basic army here, and this is our god. But like, these guys could go into here, or we could send his guys over there, or whatever. Okay, tell him to stay behind troops, so we don't want him to die. Once he's a prophet, he'll be able to. Cast spells. So we got 2 squads. We can like select these units. How do I put them somewhere else? Oh, I just put them in the garrison. How do I make another squad? Okay, how do we create another squad? Hold and fire. Fire and keep distance. Okay, so select them, left click. Select them, hold shift to select all, left click on him, makes a new squad. If I click onto the same squad, they'll be in the same squad. So we want them in different squads. He's not an amazing leader, so we can't put them in line formation. Okay, what can he do? Research. Get him to research. Okay, is there a recruitment window? R to recruit. So gold, commander points, recruitment points, and holy points. Warrior Smith, can they research? Okay, we have 2 commander points, so we can recruit 1 guy a turn. These guys are 1 holy point each. And the rest can be regular guys. And you can have it repeat. Okay, so the other thing I want to do. Research. Okay, so we already have 50 points in alteration, but I want to research construction. Construction is what lets you craft items. Okay, could probably end the turn now. How do I end a turn? E. Yeah, so E. If you hit E accidentally, you'll end the turn. Hephaestus has sensed the location of 9 previously undiscovered thrones. Okay. A proclamation from Ulm. Worm, the warrior chief, shall hereby be known as the prophet of Hephaestus, lord of magma. Suddenly, Erbart, the guardian of the tree, appears at the gates of your fortress and wanted to fight for your cause. Eberhard came to sacred Irminsul when he was 7 years old. He was an orphan, and he and his master were on their way to the Wheel of Pain, when his master took a detour to consult the antlered shamans. When Eberhard approached the black oak, it sprouted leaves. It was the middle of winter, and the shamans were amazed at the portent. Eberhard was taken as an apprentice to the shamans and quickly suppressed them all. He has since become a guardian of the tree, chosen by the awakening god. His skill in nature magic and his priestly powers are unsurpassed by the kingdom. Okay. Eberhard. Yeah, look at him. Level 3 priest, level 4 nature mage, level 2 earth mage. So let's get him to research. Okay, so he's a priest now. That means he's got magic. He's got 49 units. Okay, make sure you hit the arrows. So yeah, you can see, there's an army here. Contains about 80 enemy units. 50 enemy units. 160 enemy units. 10 enemy units. And the thrones have like really strong protection too. And there's a gateway to another plane. So let's send our scout here. We're gonna keep recruiting troops. Yeah, if you see them like fade out, it means they're not going to get recruited on this turn. So we can repeat this recruitment every turn. Oh wait, this guy's a priest. Research. So this guy... Prophet. Gets increased attack and defense skill in addition to the dominant related bonus of a pretender god. Prophets can never be charmed or enslaved into serving the enemy. They can only be one prophet at a time. So yeah, we just gotta keep recruiting units until we can fight one of these. We could probably fight these guys next turn. Let's check our research again. Yeah. 2 more turns, I think. Let's recruit another shaman. Oh, okay. So like this part of the game, it's like I don't have a lot of experience yet, so I don't really know what to say about it. So I'm just gonna play the game a bit. We're getting earth gems, we're getting death gems, and nature gems. Okay, so let's end the turn. Worm, the warrior chief, is doing nothing. That's fine. Research and construction is complete. A proclamation from Cetus. So Cetus is our enemy. Lahar, the lizard heir, shall hereby be known as the prophet of Dunga, drinker of blood, king of forgiving. Okay, let's check out the research. Construction, right-click on it. Okay. Construction of magic trinkets. Oh, we have, like, spells now. They didn't have spells with, they didn't have this stuff before. This is new. Clockwork soldiers. Clockwork soldiers. Interesting. Forge of the Ancients. Cool. Okay. Okay, so we can build stuff. So go to him, forge magical item. We can make him a magical sword. Costs 10 gems. Okay, let's get him a black steel plate. So he's gonna forge that black steel plate. Okay, so let's fight a battle. So yeah, look at this. 170 units. Archers, long deads, militias, heavy infantry, and light cavalry. Yeah, it's Sunarius the Shaman. Research. Okay. Okay, here's a battle. There was a battle in Druid Land. So here's just the straight up, whatever. Okay, and view battle. Spacebar to pause. Oh wow, it's lagging. They're throwing axes. Well, like you just brought that tree to life. I'm gonna pause this for a sec. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You see this? The more you go down the line, the more advanced that gets. Archer hit Iron Warrior with the range attack in the head for 0 points of damage. Damage roll 11 plus 7 versus protect. Roll of 14 plus 6 of Iron Warrior equals 0 points of damage. That's what I mean where it's like Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's not about just doing damage, it's about knowing your stats. And look, they're running away.
Get him! And that's the end of the battle. Quit battle replay. Okay, so there we go. We lost 2 archers and 2 iron warriors. And this is their kill count. So yeah, we did it. So there you go, we fought a battle. So what's this? Inkpot End. Spreads deadly diseases? Oh, that sucks. Okay, our income went up. Okay, so this would be too hard for them to go. They could go this way. Okay, so this guy built his armor. Let's equip it. You don't want to make him super heavy because his combat speed's going to go down. Let's get him to build a sword. Okay. Lahar, the lizard heiress, claimed the throne of Winter in the name of Donga. There's a battle. We lost a few more guys. Holy Avenger! I think we're shooting our own guys with our own arrows. These guys are crippled. Yeah, so this battle's done. A worldwide event has occurred. The throne of winter is spreading cold across the world. Okay. Mainly horse tribe cavalries. Oh, look at this. Amazons and Pegasus riders. I'm going to keep recruiting units here. Yeah, keep recruiting these units.
But yeah, like, you can just go at your own pace when you play this game. It's not really, like, pushing you to do anything you don't want to do, right? Yeah. Should I go after those cavalry? I'll probably go after those people instead. Black steel sword, black steel plate. Okay. Get him to research. Yeah, one of Worm's crippled units died during the march from Emerthia to Hall. Yeah, so we're slowly getting worn down. Still have 50 warriors. Javelins. Yeah, we beat them. Worldwide event has occurred. Throat and winter is spreading cold across the world. Well, that's not too bad. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. Caverns of Gold. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna save here. And yeah. Alright, so I appreciate everyone coming out to take a look at what I was doing. Didn't get much done today other than reading, but there was a lot to go through, so I enjoyed myself. The next time I stream this, and I'll just be focusing on playing the campaign instead of going through all the factions. And we'll try to get a game done, or progress a game to see what the game plays like. So, yeah. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for watching.